thing can't be in an exact position. Did you hear what I said? Like, it's a non sequitur, what you just said.
So we're talking about the curvature. I'm talking about the horizon and the curvature, and somehow you think I'm changing the subject to like cat videos.
No. I'm going to say this directly to you again, and I'm going to use the things you're talking about instead of just making it vague. So, just because we can't see the exact position of the horizon as it sits geometrically, that there is some variable that is introduced that changes the path of light such that we don't see that exact position, doesn't mean that that geometric horizon doesn't have an exact position.
That's a non sequitur. We're talking about horizons, and you're over here talking about horizons. I don't get it, bro.
My exact point was your argument was a non sequitur. That was my point.
If it was flat, then
we're talking about horizons, not horizons, bro.
We're talking about horizons, not horizons, bro.
Yeah, that's what you just accused me of doing, right? See how this is going like round and round? We're getting
no. What I did is,
but if your position that the horizon is curved, then you are talking about the curvature, right? That's what we're talking about. That's what we're saying. If we are saying that the horizon is curved, then we are talking about the horizon. I think that's what Dogs is trying to say, that we're thinking that the horizon and the curvature are the same thing.
Yeah, I'm pointing out that your argument that we can't see the geometric horizon where it actually is a non sequitur to whether it exists. Like everything you've said, I think is a fallacy so far.
And everything you said, I think is a fallacy so far.
Potentially, yeah, because you have to be showing to me something. Like the idea that because you saw too far when your wife was giving birth, when you were, I don't know, at some bay, you could see the lights across the bay, and you think that should make you think the Earth is flat. That's just an argument from incredulity because you can't believe that you could see those lights from that distance. The only way it wouldn't be an argument from incredulity is if you could like give the actual measured distances, the measured heights of the observer, the measured refraction, all the variables that would tell you whether it's possible to see that on a curved surface or on a flat surface. But you haven't done that. It's so incredible to you that you'd be able to see those things that you believe the Earth is flat.
So here's the thing. If we could get past the, hurling fallacies, accusations at each other, and we could actually conversation.
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
Right. So, is the boats going over the horizon? Can we detect the curvature of the Earth from the surface of the Earth?
Yes.
Okay. So, does refraction happen?
Yes.
So, how do we know when we're actually looking at the geometric horizon or the refracted horizon?
So we're always looking at the geometric horizon. It just gets to our eyes in a refracted manner. So we're looking at both. You guys just give it arbitrary differentials. So you can say that if you see the refracted horizon, you're actually seeing the geometric horizon. But in the same way that I need to exist in order for you to see a manual, like a analog photo of me, or to see me in a reflective surface, the geometric horizon needs to exist in order for us to see the refracted image of that horizon.
Does that make sense to you? Like that argument really makes sense in your head?
Yeah, it made perfect sense in my head. Yeah. If something needs to exist in order for you to see a distorted version of it optically, what doesn't make sense about that?
Yeah, I get the fact that you're saying you got to have X before you get delta X, but if it's always refracted, how do you know the horizon that you're looking at is the actual horizon and not a refracted one? And then you said, well, you got to have delta X. You got to have X to have delta X. Like that was your response, really?
Yeah, so if you want to know how we know the geometric horizon, we don't know that optically. We know that through calculations based on things like the angle of stars, like sextants and navigation over water.
Right, and these are the fields where we will come into conflict, because the flat Earth idea is that these particular bits of information can't be trusted, because it's not necessarily about the curvature of the Earth or whether the Earth is flat or not. It's more about a level of trust. So most people in the flat Earth community will say that the information that is given is either a propaganda or it's a deception. So when it comes to things like calculus or mathematics or science, they'll say that those sources can't be trusted, because unfortunately, because the curvature of the Earth is so huge, like when we talk about measuring it, you have to use things like geometry and mathematics, which the flat Earth community don't trust. They say you can't trust that data, and so you're going to have an impasse. There's no solution to that problem because they say that information can't be trusted.
So are you done? No, stop. Shut up. Are you done straw manning me right now, bro? Or would you like to continue?
Well, you mentioned before propaganda, right? You said that you don't believe propaganda. So do you believe that a lot of the stuff in academia and in the institutions is a form of propaganda? Therefore, it can't be trusted, right?
Bro, propaganda can be true.
The argument is only that there's more than one explanation that can be reached through calculus.
Bro, you're saying
calculus explanation.
Go ahead, guys.
No, I'm just saying that flat earthers like just subscribe to a different form of calculus. It's not non-calculus explanation.
I think
calculus is it's just a form of logic, right? It's just mathematics. It's not in its own thing any form of propaganda. It's just a set of rules that mathematics uses. It doesn't have any sort of agenda on its own. It's just a system, right? And of course, so that if you believe that the government, for example, or educational institutions are being manipulated to propagandize certain lies, right? They're not giving you the real truth behind the mathematics. Then you're going to distrust the sources of information that they come from. You're going to distrust information from astrophysicists or scientists or educational institutions if you believe that that information is corrupted. It's not about me trying to say who's right and who's wrong here. I'm just saying that there's certain areas we're going to get to where there's just going to be an impasse. There's going to be a way of both people agreeing, because there's certain fundamental principles behind the information we're using that differ.
Yeah, but you said that we reject science and math. Like, why the fuck would I reject science?
I didn't say you reject science and math. I said you are it's not about the rejection of the actual sciences themselves or the rejection of mathematics. It's a distrust of authority figures and those in power. That's what it's about.
So if you got like real science to show me, like an experiment that I can do myself, like I'll look at it. If you got like a paper to show me, I'm going to go to the methods and I'm going to look at it. And if the methods check out, then I might read the rest of the paper. But as far as like me just rejecting something, like you guys keep strawmanning me and putting this genetic fallacy on me, like I'm just going to reject it because where it came from, as if I have no discernment or I'm too lazy to check. And that's just ridiculous, man. I don't know why you even say that.
Well, it's nothing to do with that. I'm not suggesting that you're incapable of being a rational person. I don't like when people jump and say, "Oh, flat earthers are just dumb and irrational people." I say that's not what it is. Most flat earthers are extremely rational people, and they're very diligent in the research that they do. It's just that the way that you do your research, right, is by the perception of that the information that is currently there can't be trusted. So you have to come up with some other explanation, right? So it's not about trusting. You're not distrustful of particularly mathematics or science itself. You're distrustful of the institutions that we rely upon for this information, right? Whether they're government or they're civil, they're somehow either being manipulated in some way or there's some agenda behind it that isn't telling us the real truth.
Bro, some guy came in here earlier, about an hour and a half ago, telling a story about being abducted by Sasquatch aliens. And you know what I did with that information? I took it in. Didn't make a decision about it. Just took it in. Listened to what he had to say. Don't know if he was a troll or if he was telling the truth. No idea. Just looked at the information. And that's how I treat all information. If I rejected information from where it came from, that would be really stupid. Like I've known about that for a really long time. My dad used to tell me when I was a child, maybe they know something we don't know. And that stuck with me like forever. So whatever you're arguing, like you're doing like this weird thing where you're like, it's a stereotype fallacies. Flat earthers are going to commit the genetic fallacy because they don't trust. It's ridiculous, bro.
Well, they do. What they do all the time with like NASA, right, and any kind of other sources.
I think they commit the genetic fallacy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm thinking that the underlying detail behind a lot of these types of theories is distrust in those in power. Right? It's generally about questioning everything. Right? There's nothing wrong with that agenda. It's just that to particularly people who are globalists, right? They may distrust on a less level authority that institutions or the information than you do. That's the main difference, is that you have a higher distrust.
Okay, so you accuse me of being, not trusting science. What's the first step of the scientific method?
I never said you did. I just said that you don't distrust science. I never said that.
So this is where you got it wrong.
I never once said you distrust science. I said you do trust science. You do trust maths. I never said that.
It's not that we distrust the organisations. So I think what Larry was trying to come across and say, and what I think he'll back up, is that if we have something that's claimed to be science, and then we look into the so-called science behind the claim, and it doesn't add up to the scientific method, and it doesn't add up to science, then we're going to say that, no, this is not science. And if it's happening repeatedly over and over again, or we can disprove something like NASA over and over again, then yes, NASA is distrusted. But it's not that we come out in the beginning and say, we don't trust these people. I've always questioned everything since I was very young. So it wasn't that I've ever distrusted anybody. It's whatever I've seen, whatever I've read. I've never been happy unless I've gone and done further investigation, not on the premise of distrust. And then when I start seeing things, then yes, that can cause distrust, but that's not where it originates from.
But you're describing what distrust is, right? Because part of the reason that globalists just accept the earth is round is because a lot of us just trust those who are in those institutions. We go, that's why they'll come here and say things like, they'll come on stage and we say things like, well, I'm not a physicist or I'm not an astrophysicist, so I don't have the qualifications. Or they'll accuse you and say, you're not an astrophysicist, so you're not qualified to say that. That's because we have a level of trust that we say, I'm not in that position, so I trust those who have done the due diligence that they know more than me. So we have a level of trust, right? So distrust would be, I want to question everything. I don't think that these people know all the things that they're talking about. I need to do my own research or my own data to find out. I'm not necessarily saying that this is necessarily a bad thing. I'm just saying that you don't have a level of trust that we do in the information. You want to question it.
I don't know if I call it trust, because I think it's logical to question people on their statements or things that we're told, rather than just to automatically believe everything we're told. And I don't know whether it's distrust when you're questioning everything at a young age. I was inquisitive about everything. I would ask why that occurred, why did that happen? Okay, and then I'd be thinking about it and think, no, well, that could have happened that way, and then I'd ask the question. It wasn't necessarily a level of distrust. This distrust doesn't really come into the equation until after the evidence has presented itself.
So you don't think that people that have come into these rooms that aren't coming here to troll or just attack you, that have tried to give you, demonstrations in mathematics and geometry that show how we do tests of the curvature of the earth, have you had any interest, or do you feel that this data they give you is somehow compromised, or is it wrong? Why don't you trust the data say, like someone gives you an example and says, here's some current ways that we use to measure the circumference of the Earth, right? Whether it's through radio data or seismic data or using geometry through light. Do you feel that those aren't convincing enough? Is that why you're not convinced?
That's a good question. I think the reason why I'm not convinced on a lot of these things is that a lot of them can be proven that they are all based on the assumption of the globe in the first place, and it's basically reverse engineered, if you want to call it that. And secondly, I spent a lot of time out at sea. I've done a lot of long distance observations at sea when I used to do a lot of fishing and reef fishing and things like that. And the fact of the matter is, regardless of whether you guys claim refraction, we can see way further than we are meant to on a geometric sphere. So that's another big issue. But
could I jump on that quickly? Because that seems to be a subjective view.
I don't think it's 100%. I've got a lot of other people I know that are fishermen, and although they don't really talk about it, when I did say to them, "Hey guys, the Earth's flat," they'd turn around and say, "No shit, man. We live on the fucking ocean. We know it's flat." So, there's a lot more than people that are just here arguing this out on Discord.
Yeah, I understand, but that's someone's opinion on the shape of the Earth. Do you think an opinion is the same as a measurement or a experiment done to calculate the shape of the Earth or to measure the shape of the Earth?
But experiments are designed to prove a hypothesis.
Well, there is no experiment that proves the shape of the Earth. That would be maths, and that's usually done with.
Sure, there is. You don't even need anything but your eyes. You don't need any scientific information. Just need to. Well, okay, so technically you might want to use Discord, but if you're in the southern hemisphere, look up, see how the rotation of the stars. Then contact somebody from the northern hemisphere, ask them, look up what rotation of the stars. They'll be opposites. Then you just have to figure out why that is.
Well, back to dogs of God for a minute, and then we'll come back to that.
Okay.
Yeah,
there's observations that I've made myself over 10 kilometres over water, where there's no possible way on a geometric globe I could be seeing what I'm seeing, including navigation lights at night, other ships, other boats out at sea, well over distances that we should be seeing them.
Yeah, so that's the thing people like me want to see. We want those observations to be shown. We want you to write down how high you are,
on a prawn trawler.
The potential refractive index, the distances to things. We want to know these things, but they're never presented. Even the people that go out and write up, I guess, papers on this sort of thing, whatever the Globe Busters or whatever did, they don't include the right variables in it. So
if you want to know my situation,
just one of those.
How far are you supposed to see?
You have it.
Do they say you're supposed to?
According to the geometric shape of the Earth, it should be 1.225 times the observer's height in feet. So if you're standing on a beach at 6 feet and you're looking across at, say, 10-kilometre stretch of water, and there's an island or something on the opposite side.
So 6 foot beach plus 12 foot plus 6 foot person is a 12-foot beach, a 12-foot height, right? Of sea level. So you're standing.
The thing is, they don't go by that anymore. They changed the goalpost, and they're saying now that when you see past that, it's because of refraction. So you saying 1.22 miles, they respond with refraction when you go past that.
Well, Larry, you can't keep saying that. You can't keep saying we're changing the goalposts. The fact is that the Transcontinental Arc, the parallel survey in the US, it had refraction included in all of its observations, standard refraction by those surveys. So you can't say we're moving the goalposts. That's just being disingenuous at this point.
So answer the question then. How far are we supposed to be able to see?
It depends on the refractive index for the day, the height of the observer, and then you have to calculate that based off the geometric shape of the Earth.
So I just said what you just said, then you said I can't say that, but you just said refraction when we asked.
You said shifting the goalpost. That's disingenuous.
So it's not 1.22 miles times the square root of the observer's height in feet?
I don't have any problem with that. I have a problem with the disingenuous claim that we're moving the goalpost. We're not moving the goalpost.
So which one is
refraction.
it? When we see the oil platforms, why do we see that far?
Because there's refraction, Larry. Why can't you get this? We've had 3 discussions on this now.
Okay, so where is the horizon?
I'm getting frustrated because you're just repeating yourself and you don't seem to be taking in any of the information.
Where's the horizon supposed to be? How far are we supposed to be able to see?
It depends on refraction. The horizon is like, I don't know, depends on refraction.
So just whatever
height.
We see.
The height of the observer, the refraction, and then the radius of the Earth.
So what's the refraction? It varies, right?
You can calculate the refractive index by taking measurements of the column of air that you're looking through.
So no matter what we see, no matter how flat it looks, and we can see stuff 10 miles away from 1 foot above the water.
No, there are limits to refraction.
What are those limits?
I don't know the exact limit to refraction, but you guys need to be able to have some observation that doesn't fit within those limits, or that you have calculated the refractive index and it doesn't fit that refractive index.
You can refract 180 degrees, you can refract like 360 degrees. It depends on the variation in density.
Well, there's a long
maybe
list.
Not on
there's a long list of.
Sorry.
There's been a long list of witnesses from lighting from 52 to 75 miles an hour. 52 to 75 miles away. I don't know what that converts over your metric system.
Yeah, but
it's very.
Are any of them?
That's a 60 watt. Those are 60 watt light bulbs. Strangely enough.
And how? From what height was the object, and what height was the observer?
I don't know, but I would imagine the observer was like 12 foot. 12 foot above sea level.
That's crucial. That 12 is foot extremely important to know what the height of the observer was, what the height of the target object.
So if they weren't trying to test, they weren't trying to test the curvature of the Earth. They were trying to actually test the damn sensitivity of light bulbs. It was one of those things. It had nothing to do with the Earth. They were just after that. But anyways, they were on a boat, so say 12, 14 feet up in the air for the observer. I don't know how fucking high up off the water level the light bulb was. Maybe 6 feet. I have no idea. You want the cases for it? There's a shit ton of them.
No, there aren't.
But
there's people saying that. No, there's people saying it, but no one's actually measured it. No one's actually measured it and put their findings anywhere that I've ever seen. So if you have that, show me that, because at the moment it's just people claiming.
Okay.
Not understanding.
Just to give you an
Philip
idea.
Morris broadcast that. Philip Morris is the one that did that research because it's their light bulbs that they were studying.
Just to give you an idea of how far, how far light's supposed to go. Lighthouse is supposed to go 6,000 feet in distance. Like, you're supposed to see it 6,000 feet away. Like, so when it's high, it affects the math quite drastically. That's why I'm asking. Like, when you put it on top of a tower, it makes a huge difference.
Just talking in the atmosphere, right? Because you know that stars and planets are very far and we can see them quite clearly in the night sky.
Yeah. I'm just talking about, like,
how do we know that?
Atmospheric conditions.
Remember that there's no Earth curving between yourself and the stars. So we're just talking about the light hitting the surface of the Earth. That's all we're talking about.
But that's what is happening with stars and planets too. Like, we can observe stars and planets that are hundreds, if not millions of kilometers away. And we can see them perfectly fine.
But there's no ground floor occluding it once it hits a certain distance because of the curvature of the Earth. That's what I'm...
No, but you can see distortion or atmospheric. As they rise and set, you can see those differences, though, between planets and stars. They do get affected by occlusion and refraction and things. So does the sun and the moon. Yeah.
Yeah, that would demonstrate it to a degree. thing is that type of refraction is not Earth to Earth. It's like it has to leave the atmosphere, so that bends everything.
And I'm sorry, the company name is Phillips. The apparently the engineer is named Morrison.
I was gonna say, said Philip Morris. It's like, why was the tobacco company doing research?
I read over the crazy shit because I'm always interested in like lighting kind of thing. And Phillips is, well, a very old company, tied in with a lot of other weird shit. But anyways, that's how we came across the information. Thought it was kind of impressive. You could see a 60-watt light bulb at that distance.
So then your equation would be 1.22 times the square root of 12, and that would be your distance to the geometric horizon.
1.22 times the square root of 12?
Yep. Because if the observer was at 12 feet, right? We're trying to find the geometric horizon. You know what I mean?
I got you. I didn't catch that part.
Yeah, no clue for them. All they were looking for was a direct line of sight, clear night, and be able to see a light bulb from that distance. Well, for the longest distance, that's what they were really trying to look for. Like I said, their shit wasn't really about the Earth. It was about light bulbs.
Yeah.
Wait, you saying you're doing this experiment at was this like a promotional video or something?
No. Philips, very old company, been around, did a lot of stuff. I think now they're more commonly, they used to be more in electronics. Now they're commonly into health stuff, whatever that means, really. Philips has also been a known company.
It's just that what I'm perplexed is that what would be the need to do this experiment when they have they are far more accurate.
Oh, they have all kinds of weird shit. Who knows?
Because it's a measurable thing, like luminescence of any light sources, easily measurable with instruments.
Yeah, they were trying to test. I had no idea it had something to do with their light bulbs. I couldn't tell you why they were doing the damn thing. Well, other than the fact that it's a known problem with these electric companies. You notice you go buy light bulbs, they kind of usually don't last 2 or 3 years. That way, by design, this is one of those things.
Yeah, because of capitalism. Yeah, because it's the Phoebeus.
Well, that all started with the light bulb. All of that began, the law that got put in around, items only lasting a certain amount of period all came from the light bulb, because they had light bulbs that could last pretty much an infinite amount of time. I think there's a light bulb in a firehouse still burning in America that's been going for a long time.
Yep. They've got a camera on that thing. You can actually look at it. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Even though it's kind of dim, but it will do the job.
Yeah, they were just, who knows? Maybe they were trying to advertise light bulbs. Who the hell knows?
Happens a lot.
Point is it's somebody that has absolute no stake in the Earth. They have every interest in these light bulbs kind of thing, and they publish this information. You get to look it up for yourself. But anyways, it's Philips, that company.
I don't think it contradicts anything about Earth curvature, right, at all, because we don't know the observation height. We don't know the target height.
Well, I would imagine they would publish all of that. I mean, they've got video read material. I mean, apparently they're trying to publish their lights and how well they are. Fuck if I know.
Yeah.
It could be somebody.
Not gonna lie, when I walk into a store to buy a light bulb, I'm just buying whatever I can get and getting the hell out of the store as fast as possible. Anyways, it would be on the record of distance of seeing an object. In this case, it's a light bulb. Obviously, a lit light bulb at night. Maybe somebody else has got something for seeing objects at distance. I have no idea. That was just the only thing I've read recently in like the last 6 months that would have anything to do about seeing over a distance.
How far away was the globe?
How far away was the what?
The light, the globe.
Anywhere from 52 to 75 miles. And I don't know how to convert miles over to metric system, so sorry for that one.
75 miles. How high up was it?
The bulb, I don't know. You'd have to go back and read.
Right. With the naked eye, they saw the
Yes,
light?
with the naked eye.
Is it 60 miles? Or
yeah, I just remember it was just a 60-watt light bulb. I was thinking, 150 watt? Yeah, something like that, maybe. Nope, 60 watt. That's why I was kind of impressed.
Oh, it must have been some like high luminescence one then.
Maybe. I have no idea. I don't know jack squat about light bulbs. Like I said, when I want to buy a light bulb, I just walk into a store and grab what I want and get the hell out as fast as humanly possible.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to Walmart. Get your shit and get out.
That's pretty much it. But I mean, I guess that's the thing. Like, if the presupposition is I don't trust the government or I don't trust government organizations, unless Phillips is somehow tied in with the government, there you go, or something. To be fair, I kind of have a lot more trust in currency, so anything that's business-based. Have a lot more faith in that.
We know that the Nikon Corporation that makes the cameras, right, is tied with the Japanese government.
So
that's Nikon could be lying to everybody who's using Nikon.
Could be. Like I said, like if your default position is somebody could be lying, there's nothing you can do. It seems like a weird way to live life.
It's kind of a weird conspiracy theory. I never heard that one before, that Japanese government got together with Nikon. Let's create a flat Earth movement, right? And we'll sell
it could be a problem
really
for your movement. You guys use these cameras.
Once again, it's a stereotype fallacy. I don't have a Nikon P900. I would buy a telescope. So you guys are full of stereotypes.
I mean, I'm saying whoever is using to verify or to make experiments on the flat Earth side. Doesn't mean specifically you, obviously. Also, there's no formal or informal fallacy called double standard or whatever.
Stereotype? You don't know that that's a fallacy?
Stereotype. There's no stereotype, formal or informal fallacy. That is a fallacy, actually.
It's a fallacy of fallacy.
Don't you think that's kind of problematic? Like, if your default position is everybody could be lying or anybody could be lying, well then.
Yeah, that's why I don't trust the flat earthers. I don't trust the globe earthers. Yeah, I don't trust them when they say that there is no horizon. I think they might be lying to me.
Who says there's no horizon?
They're blind if they can't see a damn horizon.
There is a horizon. The horizon is just optical, and it's where the ground.
I don't trust you. You could be lying to me.
Well, you can see that with your own eyes.
Why would I trust you?
Well, you don't have to. You can go and have a look with your own eyes. I think even dogs will agree with this one.
Yeah, I just looked and I can't determine anything specific. I know there's like a line there, but that's it.
That's right. And
he's LARPing a solipsis and implying that that's how we're acting.
I'm not LARPing a solipsis, what?
And then if you observe that line every day, it'll appear to move in and out and up and down, and it's an apparent place.
To you, maybe. Not to me.
Are you a solipsist? Do you know that you're on Discord right now?
What kind of solipsist do you mean?
I cannot confirm anything 100%, obviously.
So if I put your testicles in a vice and I tighten them till you start screaming like a little girl,
promoting violence?
Happening? No. I'm asking a hypothetical question. If I were to inflict
Sir, you
pain
said you're
on
gonna
you,
hurt me.
No, bro, I never said I was gonna hurt you. Are you serious right now? Wait, you couldn't know that I said that because you don't know anything, right?
Well, I said I never know for certain. Right.
Yeah, you can't.
By
wouldn't
the way,
know.
Darix is an executive mod here. Executive mod. Did you hear that? Like, I just want to know.
He was raising a counterfactual. He wasn't.
Was he, or was he trying to hurt me?
Well, how
He thinks
come
I'm
he
trying to
wasn't
hurt him.
Okay. Oh, there's a deputy admin here. Carpi, did you hear that too? There's no threats of violence, I hope, upon my person.
Carp's always threatening people with violence. Didn't you know this?
I'm not a cop. You're the cop in the server, right?
You
You're a server white cop.
because he has a cosmology belief, and you can't trust either of them. So you're stuck.
I cannot trust either of them because both of them could be lying to me. Why would they tell me the truth? They want to extract something from me. Why would they tell me the truth?
What Larry was saying. Why would he tell you the truth? You can't trust him.
Yeah, I think he's not telling me the truth. He's trying to extract something from me. He's trying to gain benefit.
Your existence is pointless right now. You've said it yourself.
He tried to manipulate the mods to get me kicked out of here. This guy wanted to censor my speech.
I just don't want you to threaten me, sir. I never threatened you.
Bro, I would never hurt you. It was a hypothetical. It's something that I run over with a solipsist with.
I don't know what a hypothetical is.
It means that it's just a story to make you think.
Okay.
Okay, if somebody in general, and there's no threats here, but if someone in general, say, was inflicting pain on you in some way, would that pain then be real, or you could not be sure that you were actually in that pain?
The correct answer is you can't be sure, because pain is something that can be experienced only through the brain, and since the brain can trick itself, you don't know if you're actually experiencing the brain or whether it's just experiencing pain, or whether it's just a brain lying to you.
See, I got this theory that there's no feminists on the Titanic, and there's no feminists in Ukraine saying, no, don't send me away. I want to stay and fight and die for my country. I'm equal like a man. Send me to the Russian front line, right? When shit hits the road, when rubber hits the road, all this theoretical bullshit goes out the window. Oh, you can't trust your eyes unless you're driving your truck, right? And, we can't trust our senses, but all we have is observational science. Wait a minute.
What about this, Larry? So do you know a guy called Dylan Burns on YouTube?
No idea.
Okay, so Dylan Burns is an American who went to Ukraine, and he lives in cities that are bombed by Ukraine. He went there as a war journalist. He's just a bulk standard political YouTuber. And he's probably a radical feminist. He is definitely LGBTQ. So what you just said seems to just be your assumption based on maybe a few people you met. So good job, mate. You've done it again.
Is he a woman, saying that, he has equal rights to fight on the front line and that they should send a man home so that she could take his place? Because that's what I actually said.
Oh, no, you said a feminist.
No, he said a female.
Oh, I thought he just said feminist. But anyway, if you want a female, I could find you one that was part of the Euromaidan protests who'd be happy to join the Ukrainian military.
I think
there are plenty. There are actually a lot of Ukrainian women fighting on the front line.
I think Larry's point is that there are certain jobs like that, like being on the front line of war, maybe being a plumber and being in someone's shit pipe, scraping it out, maybe who knows what it is, a bricklayer, a builder, that yes, there is the exception. There are females in that industry, but the majority, it is a male-based industry, and females are generally in more of a caring industry, such as nursing, because they're a more nurturing nature. But Larry's saying when the shit hits the road, or the rubber hits the road, well, it's usually the men that have to step up in that situation. I don't think it's every woman out.
That's great, but isn't that just a stereotype fallacy, Larry?
It is, but that's not a full fallacy, according to some.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that funny?
So that's a fallacy.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Weird.
Fallacy is saying you're wrong because you're making a fallacious argument. just pointing out that you are using fallacious reasoning isn't a fallacy.
Is it like a Russian nesting doll? You can have a fallacy.
Maybe, I don't
all the
know.
way down.
I've never tried.
I understand where you're coming
Well,
from.
when you're talking with these guys, you probably can, bro.
I understand
I
understand what you're saying about the fallacy, but then what about when it's something that we can actually witness and see and can be counted as that being the case, as factual?
That's a subjective fallacy. That's a trust your own perception fallacy.
Well, I don't know if it's my perception, if there's studies that are released on it and you can actually see.
Trust the scientist fallacy.
A scientism, sorry.
That's scientism.
Also, it might be the naturalism fallacy.
So we can't know anything then.
That's the solipsism fallacy.
Well, not with absolute certainty.
It is funny whenever someone tries to argue against solipsism because, like, there's never been a philosopher or a philosophical paper that has successfully countered the idea that solipsism is at least logically possible. Like, no one's ever fixed the problem of solipsism.
Yeah, that is hilarious. Like, I catch people all the time that are like, "Oh, well, if I take your wallet, and you care about it, then it's not solipsism." Like, okay, no, that just means that you care about what you perceive as real.
Would the name of that movie be Quantum of Solace?
What is it?
I think there are like two types of solipsism, isn't it? Like the solipsist who thinks that actually the reality is your own thoughts, and then you got a solipsist that thinks that you can only like what you call it? The only like
you can only have
empirical evidence you have is like kind of like that. That you only have like your own empirical evidence is really just that you have your own thoughts, because you couldn't have thoughts if you couldn't think, something like that.
Oh, so I don't know if I fall into the solipsist category, because, like, I don't think that we are like a brain in a vat or whatever. Like, I don't have a good reason to believe that, but I also recognize that we haven't solved the problem of hard solipsism, and therefore can't be absolutely certain about anything. So I don't know where I land on that spectrum.
Yeah.
I think that's a reasonable position. You have to have some base presupposition to be able to get any sort of rationality out of the world, and the best base presupposition is that we exist and we have some form of correlation between what reality is and what we think reality is.
I think the like if you have to make an assumption, which I think we do, the best assumption that we can make is just that the natural universe that we seem to experience exists. Like, that's the assumption, and based on that, we like if I were to use a chess analogy, once we agree on the rules of chess, from that we can come to true and false. Even within this subjective space, you can come up with objectively true and false statements about a good move and a bad move. And in the same way, if we make the assumption of that the universe that we experience is real, then from there we can make objectively true determinations about what is and is not real within this universe that we experience.
Like what?
What do you mean, like what? Like, if we assume that the universe that we experience is real, then within this experience, then the things that we can test within it seem to match up, right? So, yeah, like, but that's not solving the problem of hard solipsism.
Yeah, one that I like is that how anything is possible. just imagine it's true. If the universe and heliocentric is correct, it's virtually endless. Just like somewhere out there in a galaxy far, far away, special Jedi or whatever, special trained people use the Force to battle out light and dark. Anything you can think of is true.
Could be, yeah. I just don't have any reason to think so.
Yeah, I'm saying if you were to use like the globalist paradigm that this Earth is in the heliocentric model and in the galaxy, the whole talking point at the time was nuclear disarmament. Give peace a try, because somewhere out there there's an Earth where they got it right. They're able to nuclear disarm, and everything is better. So if it's possible, give it a try. Try it out. See what happens.
I think you're mixing up a few different theories
what's
there.
Up? Crit, what's up?
Hey, Quark. Yeah,
yo, Effie Batman isn't here.
Yeah, man.
It's just
I've talked to him before.
Yeah, Quark, it's been a while.
I was talking to him yesterday. He gets so buttered when you challenge him on anything.
I've already debunked him, so he like muted me, so I pretty much won.
So what, Effie Batman?
Yeah, he muted me.
I'm surprised. Okay. If he has like the mod power, I will never be in the same room with him.
He's so much fun to talk to, though. Oh, sorry, but like, what was the discussion beforehand? Sorry, I really derailed.
Oh, like what? What type of rules you said?
Hmm?
Like what type of
Sorry, I'm
rules?
just going to interrupt with a quick analogy. So these flat Earth rooms, so like the flat Earth 24/7 rooms, flat Earth 24/7 rooms. There's like when there's more flat Earth. Well, this VC in particular.
Alright, derailing. We'll just shut that down right away.
No. What did he say?
Yeah, he's about to spurg out. I know that guy pretty well. He's gonna go like, yeah, flat earthers are a bunch of retards, and you can't have conversations if they're not here.
That's no fun.
Let him do his quick analogy.
All right, but like I just want to hear his quick analogy. I think I've heard it before, but like,
he can DM you for it.
All right, DM me about it.
The some of the discussions that I've been having in the flat. I mean, I'm a globe earther, but some of the discussions that I've been having in this VC, specifically the flat Earth, have been some of the best that I've had in months. We've actually had some pretty good discussions.
Yeah, exactly. This guy, Dogs as Gods, whatever, will tell you that flat Earth is harmful. It's damaging humanity. It's at the same time they say it's
I got banned from 24/7 2.0. Could you like? I want to get banned. I don't know why they banned me.
I'll see what happens.
Flat Earth could be harmful in the way that the people that are pushing it on the internet are connected to the anti-government, distrustful, anti-vaccine, UFO.
Okay, hold on real quick. Pump the brakes, buddy. You don't need flat Earth for that. Okay. Okay, no, hold on, because you're going into a spurg. I'm going to try to help you.
It was almost done with what I was about to say.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll stop that spurg right. Okay, so a lot of the people who are anti-vax, anti-government have nothing to do with flat Earth at all. Zero. Okay, many of them also would say that flat Earth is some sort of CIA-controlled operation meant to discredit them. Okay, you got the guy like Bart Sabel, who's been talking about the Apollo mission. He'll go after flat earthers more than you do. And this guy is like, yeah, it's hilarious, So what they want to do here is they want to come in here and like this group of people right there, they're anti-science. You ask them, well, how am I anti-science? They never give any evidence or any proof. They just squawk. They just squawk and say they're anti-science. Well, why? Why am I anti-science? You just is. You just is, fool. And I'm like, well, let's go through the scientific method together and see what happens. No, they won't do that either. I go, what will you do? I will only try to shut you down, overtalk you, set my hair on fire and scream. I'm like, well, you can do that someplace else.
No, but I think that's like the problem with like most like globe people. They don't understand what like flat Earth actually is. And I've talked with you enough to I understand what flat Earth actually is. I think most people
exactly. Yeah. Once you listen, I did the same thing when I first heard about flat Earth. I came in kind of hot, kind of trolly, little toxic. But once I started listening, I'm like, damn.
He left.
Yeah, if he's going to try to say it basically helped him with him. He was going to say flat Earth is harmful, damaging, is killing people. Okay,
no fun.
Okay, then here you go, right? You should go do something else with your life then.
Right.
Well, so I think the argument can be made, like, fairly, like, in good faith, that it is harmful if you believe that the Earth isn't flat, right? You can still understand that the beliefs inform actions, and if you believe that flat Earth is false, then and people are believing that they're going to base their actions on those beliefs, and you don't know what kind of negative consequences can come from that down the line.
That's like a presupposition of negative action. That's affirming the consequent. That's a fallacy.
Yet the major problem you have is that the start of humanity.
You wouldn't know that it's a negative action just because it's presuppositions. Yeah.
So the only way they could say that flat Earth was harmful is that right now they're in a harmful state. Because flat Earth was the beginning of humanity, flat stationary world. Then you went through a process using the Catholic Church and some scientists they had, and then got to a heliocentric model. So then
can you explain to me? Sorry, I was just curious. They called me. I apologize. They called me out on fallacy, and I'm just curious. Is it affirming the consequence? And I don't see that. Like, but if I am, if I am using wrong logic, I want to understand. Can you explain to me how that's affirming the consequence?
Well, you stated that the negative consequence of affirming a wrong belief, which is you didn't even affirm that. It's affirming that flat Earth is a wrong belief, and then if it is. Explain like more in depth so I could understand. Because
so I was just saying if you believe that the flat Earth is fake, right, from that perspective, or just not fake but wrong, and you believe that people are holding this wrong belief, right, then their actions can be informed by these beliefs, right? So if you believe, for example, that
So what you're asking for really is to criminalize thought or criminalize.
No. Ugo. I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to state that if they have a wrong belief, then their actions will be of a wrong action. It'll be of immoral or unethical or something that is wrong, something that isn't true. But to that state, if people before like actual globe Earth, if they were believing in the wrong things, then how come, they didn't even, destroy themselves if that was a wrong belief? They didn't. They always held that as a true belief until there was a different model. You couldn't state that it was something that was a destructive model. It was just how they held that perspective of the world.
Okay. Let me just give an example. Okay. You're not a Muslim, right?
Hold on. No. Before we get into anything further, I've got a break for to get into work, and I need to make this declaration because the term of the rules for the server or the rules for this channel was broken earlier, and the gentleman was muted. Why? Because if you go up into the guest info and rules, there's a section posted by an executive mod that says any of the following will result in a ban. Okay, and then if you scroll down, he was getting to the off-topic subjects, which involved vaccines and medical discussions. So, if you don't want to break one of the rules for this channel, please go and read the guest info rules. And it's posted by Aurora, executive mod. So please.
Yeah,
Nobody's
don't,
doing
I
that.
was.
I would say
Not
don't
a
explain
single
shit.
person is gonna do that.
Don't explain
I was a
shit
guest
to
from
them.
out of the atheist room.
Right.
Fuck your rules.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't
boo,
explain shit
fuck
to
you.
them. All right, if they want to cry,
Fuck your rules,
let them
bitch
cry.
boy.
Fuck you, boo.
Someone's like, "Oh, I don't know why I'm muted." Just use that. Use "you don't know why" as the answer, and just accept it. Use your
Ignorance is
worldview.
bliss.
Yeah, just you. What they'll do is they'll add context anyway. They'll play some victim status, even if you explain it fully to them. Then they'll start arguing about that. So they just get to sit on mute, and maybe then after a while, they'll eventually figure out how to get muted and how to stay how
Do you
not
ever
to get
shut
muted.
the fuck up? You sound
They
very
don't even
emotional.
understand it. They don't understand
like
how the
30
system
years
works,
old?
Crit. They don't
You're
understand how
on
the system
Discord
works,
getting
Crit.
emotional
They're so
at 30
silly.
years old? Is this your outlet at 30 years old?
Look at
Holy
this
shit.
swamp. He's projecting. He's
Yeah.
projecting.
No, it's okay because for his worldview now, anybody who's over 30 who gets emotional on Discord is a problem. So now
Yeah,
he follows
they
that
are.
worldview.
They are the
And
real
that's what you're
problem.
doing.
Yeah, and that's what he's doing. He's getting up. Is a Karening. He's Karening over a
He's
Karening.
I'd like to get in a minute. I'll be quick. So for the person who came in and talked about the rules, I'm sure there's a reason for them rules. And I used to rail against perceived authority. I used to rail against it so hard. And I'd be like, screw you and your rules, I'll say whatever I want. But I think it's one of those things to where some people
Sounds like
Sorry.
just
go ahead and
sorry,
ask your question.
sorry.
When I'm speaking, I just want to speak.
Ask your fucking question.
Yes, we understand. Ask your question.
Can I speak? Please,
yes,
guys.
the floor is
Please,
yours.
guys.
Go ahead.
So the question that I wanted to ask, is my understanding that your view is that people who went to space are lying? Is that correct?
Define space.
Yeah, I've been to space.
Yeah, it's a misrepresentation of their perspective. So,
like, do you call the blue horizon thing space?
Can I? Okay, so people who left Earth sort of atmosphere and took photos and said they
you realize
saw
Earth's atmosphere extends past the moon, right?
Sorry.
yeah, you'd be talking about plasmasphere.
Sorry. So the people
You guys talking
who
about the
sort of-
plasma screen, yeah.
Sorry. So the people who sort of went up in So the people who sort of went up into space.
I just asked you to define space.
Sorry.
Sorry, what the fuck is wrong?
What are you doing?
Actually, like
people who went
do you
into
need
space and
water?
said that they sorry.
Drink some fucking water,
bro.
Sorry.
Yo, I think the bot glitched.
Oh my god, refresh the page, bro.
Sorry.
F5 as fuck.
Sorry. I'm trying to speak. Just let me
It's okay, bot.
Yo, press F5.
Who went to sorry. Am I going to be able to speak uninterrupted, or is this?
You've always been able to speak.
Bro,
You just have been repeating yourself.
You define space by repeating the question with space.
Am I going to be able to speak uninterrupted?
No. How are you not figuring this out? No.
I wanted to ask.
Sorry.
This guy's on some next level stuff, bro.
I lose track.
Yo, dogs. Next time, cut the pill in half.
I lose focus when I'm interrupted. So, your view is that the people who sort of say in the sky, right? Because you guys are thrown up by space.
Okay.
Guys went up in the sky and said that they saw the curvature of the Earth and saw that Earth was a big sphere. You're saying that they're all lying.
Yeah, no one's
how
not that
about the
high.
ones
So
that said they saw
either they're
flat,
lying
too?
or they're mistaken because of curved windows or curved visors or fisheye lenses or what have you.
You know of Snell's law, right? That proves our own point.
Sorry. Why?
What the hell? What the fuck are you sorry about? I think I
just wanted.
Did I input the wrong answer? Shit, guys, help me.
Sorry. I just wanted to sort of ask this guy.
I'm sorry.
Look, if I can't speak, I'll just leave. It's fine.
It's okay.
I have better
Don't
things
be
to do
sorry.
You
with
can
my time.
speak, bro, but you're hypersensitive, right? Put some booby utensil tape over your nipples.
Grow a pair and
You're not saying anything new. You're not saying anything
Check
new. I am
between your
hypersensitive.
legs, dude.
We've already disproved your point, and you're repeating yourself.
The old guy to check between his legs. For
I don't think that's so much to ask.
Sound like the son of that old guy that was talking before, but Australian with an Australian accent.
Well, I guess what's the argument that the Earth is flat then?
Well, it's flat, and it goes so flat that it turns into a globe.
That's how the perspective works.
Yeah, so essentially, you're living on top of everyone else in the world right now. Sitting down right now, there's people below you, hella far away, but they're there, all around you. Yeah.
Well, not even that. Topographical. Sorry. I'm sorry.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
It seems like a waste of time. I'm just gonna leave.
Okay, goodbye. It was a
Yeah,
nice-
we're living on light.
This is just dumb shit.
We live on infinite vastness of layers, boys. I'll be honest. Layers. That's all
No.
this shit is. Can you prove that? Yeah.
Yeah, the topographical
Prove it.
plane is what our perspective
You
is.
want me to dig a hole to China? Is that what you're asking me? You want
I
me
don't
to
think
dig?
China exists.
I could dig
You
a
haven't
hole
been
to
to China? God bless.
I don't think China exists.
Me too.
Yeah,
I haven't been there.
dude.
actually see
Not this
America.
garbage again.
Dude,
I've
imagine
never
this.
been to China. I've never seen it with my eyes. Therefore, I cannot confirm it exists or not.
Wait. We should get back on topic.
In the world.
I'm here, man. Go ahead.
Be CGI, right?
Wait. We should get back on to like
from China.
maybe Crit could put things into perspective.
Yeah, if you look at the side chat, I posted a video of one of the astronauts talking about how the world looks flat from the ISS. Especially the more time you spend in space, the flatter it looks. And then I posted 2 videos of Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about how mathematically you will not see the curvature.
Wait, are you unironically conceding that people have been to space?
No.
Then what the fuck do you mean by ISS?
I'm unironically telling you
Wait, you're gonna
from
believe an astronaut that you believe is faking going to?
I'm
That's affirming the consequence.
That
Are
about
you using a
200
hostile
miles.
witness?
You
Yeah,
have
I'm
to
unironically telling.
You have to
I'm
believe that in
unironically
order to
telling
believe
you.
that
I'm
the person
okay.
in
Listen,
ISS.
I'm unironically telling you that
It's a
200 miles up.
fallacy.
It's not.
I'm
You
unironically
are-
telling you that
you're-
if you don't believe me, you can use the astronaut who's been 200 miles up in the air and told you the Earth looks flat.
Wait, so if he's part of the conspiracy, why would they say that the Earth is flat if the whole point of this is to convince people that there's a globe?
It's not convincing
He's not
people that
talking
a
about
globe.
the globe. He was saying
Yeah.
from the ISS, it's not high enough to see the curve. The astronaut is really the position. The position the astronaut is telling you is that the ISS is only about 200 miles up. Therefore, from that height, the people got confused. They thought the ISS was thousands of miles away, somewhere between like Earth and Mars, or flying about the galaxy, like boldly going where no one has gone before.
Thought that.
Well, that's how Snell's law works. It's all reflection, as you guys like to say, or
So
refraction.
wait, why didn't the astronauts say that the Earth looks like a globe? That's part of the conspiracy, right? That's like what they're supposed
No,
to.
because they're not high enough. You're not high enough to see the globe. He's telling you.
Why didn't they lie about it?
Because you could mathematically check. You could fact check.
Because that would be a really obvious lie.
Oh, so they told the truth. So they were accurate. Okay.
No, he still said the Earth is a globe.
They already
he just said the
they
globe
lied.
looks flat. He said you can tell it's a globe because of how flat it looks.
What?
Which astronaut was this, by the way?
Just like you could tell the Tesla in space is real because of how fake it looks.
Yeah, look at the side chat. I posted a video just 1 or 59 minutes after the hour, just about 7 minutes ago. Just got to page up a couple, and I can repost it again. It's like astronaut Scott Kelly. When you look out at Earth, especially when you're in space for long distance of time, one thing strikes out at me: the Earth looks incredibly flat. He went on to say about how so much of the Earth is populated and settled, and he went on to explain what does in the interview. You can look at the whole thing. They asked him, "What does the Earth look like from space?" And he's like, "Hey, I want to clear up this. Scott Kelly has done a lot of these, debunking misconceptions of what living on the ISS feels and looks like." And one of them,
Elon
people
Musk
say like,
is the first space terrorist. Did you know that?
Hang on.
It's a misconception of topographical planes. I mean, if you don't understand what 2D versus 3D is, then I think that you don't understand what flat Earth means. So
yeah, you got to
understand what that means.
There's people
Topographical
living
planes.
underneath you. There's people in the ground underneath you.
You're basing off Scott Kelly.
No,
if you
no,
had
this is-
X-ray vision,
No,
you
you're
could
not paying
look
attention.
down and see people.
Tons of more evidence.
Wait,
This is
wait,
what
mathematically
you're
proven
doing
as
now.
well.
No one on Earth
But the
can
thing
look
you're
up and see
claiming here is
people,
that
but
Scott
don't look down.
Kelly went up into space and said,
You're not listening. You're not
How
listening.
am I not listening?
Okay, this is what
you're
happened.
not listening.
The guy said that are all the astronauts lying when they tell you they see the Earth from space and it's a perfect spheroid? I said, dude, no one's been that high. Okay, well, a percentage did. No one's been that far since 1972. And the current people say they're only high enough that they're not high enough to see the curve either. That's what the thing is.
Scott Kelly
Okay, so-
just said
glad
yes.
you can
He
recognize
posted a video.
Yeah.
The person you're saying the Earth was flat and like looked flat is literally proving you wrong.
Okay, you're not no. He's saying the Earth looks flat. If you think he's lying to you, now you know why he lied to you.
Do you think he's lying to you?
You think this guy's telling you the truth.
Do you think this dude is lying to you?
Yeah, hold on. Okay, this astronaut told me the Earth is a globe, and he told me that he can tell it's a globe because of how flat it looks. Yeah, he's
Exactly.
lying to me. Okay, but you think he's lying because you think he should have seen the curve.
I'm just caught up in the
very
cognitive distance because you're both asserting a truth and denying it at the the time.
No, you've been doing that the entire time.
No, I haven't.
No, you've been
I
doing
have
that
been
entire time.
incredibly
Yes, you have.
consistent.
Rewind the
I've
clip.
asked you-
Rewind
I
the
have
clip. You've been
asked
affirming
you-
the consequent the entire.
I have asked you repeatedly if you are asserting that Scott Kelly is asserting that the Earth is flat, and you kept saying that this
try
astronaut
again.
has said
Okay,
the
let's go
curve of
step
the
by
Earth
step.
looks flat.
Yeah, wait,
and
break
I'm
it
saying
down
is
for
that
him.
Yeah,
No,
we'll
you
go
gotta
step.
really
We'll go
understand what
step by
he's
step. Okay, one step at a time. Okay, here we go. Step one. Okay, are the astronauts telling you lies? Okay, do you pass through that logical gate? Yes or no? Do
no,
you
they're not.
Okay, the astronaut just told you in this video clip the Earth looks flat. Is he lying to you? Yes or no?
Let me look at the video clip.
Okay,
again.
I'll put you on mute while you do that.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
muting you.
This will give him a chance.
I
because,
understand it. I'm
Yeah,
not
I
an
know.
actual 30 IQ retard like this guy.
Yeah, it's very easy to follow this line of logic because if they're going to use this person as their intellectual firepower for why the Earth is something, use all of what they say. Don't cherry pick. Don't be like, well, he's an astronaut, so he knows the Earth is a globe. Okay, sure, but he told you the globe looks flat.
Yeah, exactly.
So use that too, dude.
Yeah, then you got to use logic from there and realize that it is a globe, but it's so vast that we can't actually see it. You know, like we can't get far enough away.
Yeah, that's what that's the argument. The argument the astronaut's making is that Earth is so big, it's so large that from the point of the ISS, which is about 200 miles up, you only see about 2 to 3% of the Earth. A little over 2%. That is not enough of it to see what it really looks like. And then he goes on to tell you a bunch of other things about, how it's all populated. You don't see any countries or national borders.
Yes.
I mean, the interview.
Do you think we'll ever get far enough away and like catch it, or do you think it really is like incomprehensibly big? Like I think people tend to underestimate the size of the Earth, but if you're 200 miles up and you're only getting a small slip of vision of it, dude, that shit is vast. Like, it's like a fucking, like, a body, you know? It's like, that has more right of being a body in the universe than we do, you know? Like, just because of the size of it.
Yeah, that's pretty. I think the dude's back. Maybe he's watched the video. Let's see if he's able to do. Okay, did you watch your video? Only say yes or no if you've watched it.
I did, yes.
Okay. So is the astronaut lying? Is the actor not lying?
No, he's not.
Okay, so the Earth looks flat. Okay, welcome to Flat Earth.
What? Wait, what did you?
Let him come back. Okay, let him retort.
No, because his whole thing was his only proof of the globe was that I'm suffering cognitive dissonance because I used what the astronaut said as my proof of flat Earth.
I hear you think that the same astronaut would say that the Earth is flat actually?
No, he said it looks flat.
Yeah, sure. So what?
That means it's so
there you go.
We literally
That
don't.
means what? That the Earth is flat?
All of it.
Well,
we
how
can
could
only see a
very small portion of Earth.
Yeah, and it
Like,
looks flat,
Well,
right?
don't they show like live feed
No,
from the
it doesn't
ISS
even.
and the Earth
Yeah,
looks like a
like
globe? So
what he's
how can
referring
both of those be
to.
true?
Yeah, like this is code mining, right? You guys do this so often, right? Like what he's referring to is that at any given point in time, when you look at from the ISS to Earth, like you see like something looks like a flat surface, right? However, right, it's spherical, and then you orbit the fucking thing, right? And when you go around it, it's like, oh, golly gee, it's almost like we're orbiting a sphere.
Okay,
no,
what does it
you
look like
on-
though?
No, you
A
only orbit
sphere.
flatness. At 200 miles up, you can only orbit flatness. At no point do you actually get to see a
What?
sphere-like shape. You never get far enough away to see a sphere. You only
What?
see flat shit.
They
You
go
can move
around
around,
it.
you can scan, but you'll never fucking like fully you won't see Egypt and like North America at the same time, like probably ever. There's a lot of ocean there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
wouldn't
go up
see.
to the ISS
Wait, yeah.
yourself.
How could you see
if you want to
opposite
partake.
things on a sphere at the same time? Yeah, of course you're not going to be able to see that. That kind of shows that it is a sphere. If it was flat, you should see all of the fucking places on Earth at the same time.
No, you
This is not a pawn shop. Like what CB says, this is where you pawn off your shitty ideas on me. This is a really is level. At the really is level, if you, okay, I know the actornaut's lying his ass off, but if you think he's telling you the truth and he just told you he's not high enough to see the Earth as a sphere, he could only describe the Earth as flat and stationary. From his point of view, he's moving over the surface of the Earth and only high enough where he doesn't see the curve. So
Yeah,
if you think he told you
Wait.
the truth,
You think they don't see the curve? Can you show me these astronauts saying they didn't see curvature of the Earth from ISS?
Videos in the chat.
Bro, come on, man.
Yeah,
He
there's
said it
more
looks
of that,
flat.
too.
That means that they can't see the curve.
No, it means that when you look at it, it looks flat to you, like a flat surface, right? Because but on the edges you see like the atmosphere angling, right? Like
but
surely.
that proves that we will never be able to see the full vastness of Earth. Earth is too large for us to fully see. We will
Except
only
that
see
the ISS
flat-
orbits it.
Except our perspective will only see flatness. Just accept it.
It goes around it. You're mixing.
No,
oh my god.
no.
You're quote mining. You're quote mining.
That's called topology. That's called topology. You still that's also cognitive dissonance. If you don't know
There's
basic
more
topology and
quotes
how
than this.
2D graphs,
like
then you
what,
don't
you're trying to
understand
protect-
how
you-
3D and 2D graphs work. I'm just
fuck are you
going to
talking
state that. I'm going to go, but if I want you to look up what topography is, and then you want to map that to
I know what
little
topography is.
geoid is,
Topology
well
or
then
topography?
you actually have a basic misunderstanding of what the Earth is. Topology.
Oh,
But
this is
yeah.
like
Anyway,
I'd like a
quote is
topology
you
from you
trying
for
to-
using two different words interchangeably.
I'll go, but Spartacus, please look that up.
yeah, okay, we can go back.
I
to
hope
silence. Should we give a
you're
second
definitely
try?
a flat earther. Sure, like
Okay,
Good
so
luck.
right now, Stylus' only proof of the globe is that I'm suffering cognitive dissonance. So let's break it down. So am I still cognitive dissonance?
Yeah, I mean, you're saying at the same time that his astronaut like believes the Earth is round, but at the same time he says it's flat and actually means that it is actually flat.
Okay, I think
literally,
he's
by the way,
lying.
uses the term,
I'm saying he's
it
lying.
looks like.
My worldview, he's lying to you.
Do you have the link to that BBC interview, by the way?
Is Mark
Yeah,
Sargent
there's
lying?
more than just that.
What?
Is Mark Sargent lying?
There's more videos than that. There's also Chris Hatfield had talked about how the
Do you
Earth
have the
looks
link
flat.
to the Scott Kelly video?
Yeah, I
I've
do.
always
But I
had a
want to use it.
huge disdain for that guy.
I'm trying to
Mark
validate
Sargent? Is
that
he
video
lying?
and
Is he a liar?
the context behind it.
Probably.
Probably.
Who knows?
Yeah, the context was what Earth.
Anybody who
looks like
disagrees
in
with him
space.
is lying.
I'm trying to see where the video is so I can watch it. You want me
Okay.
to?
I'm
you
asking
want me
so
to
I
take
won't
your
trust
proof
him,
as
that's why I'm
proof.
asking.
I'm trying to verify the
It's
proof.
not my proof, homie. I think this guy's lying.
Okay,
to
just
you.
give it to me then.
Okay, I'll use this as an IQ test. You already know it's on the BBC.
I'm asking you to give me the news.
Okay, inside your worldview, you think I'm
I'll just
stupid.
do a Google search. The atmosphere
There you
looks
go.
flat. Scott Kelly, BBC. I don't see the video. I'll try to find it.
Then just call it CGI.
I can see astronaut Scott Kelly on capturing the booty of the planet Earth. I see like a whole bunch of footage from the ISS. I see.
Okay, in personal narrative, like storytelling. Yeah, get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Why did you get to mute the person? What? Like this is
Do
why you guys
you
are so
really
dishonest.
need like? Oh, okay. So it's dishonest to mute. Let's go. Let's test that claim. Let's see how many times you've muted when you're a mod. Let's just go up there. Let's fact check this guy real quick.
How?
Yeah, go ahead.
How can we fact check that?
Because inside his worldview, it's the only reason why you would mute someone is if you're dishonest.
Crit, there's a admin of the server right now in this room. It's called Carpy Cat. Carpy, can you give us the logs for Shylex and how many mutes they have made? And then give us the logs for like every flat earther, please. He's an admin. He can destroy this room if he wants to, or like reinstate or whatever. He's all powerful.
We should also correlate. We should also adjust this by time, right? Like so, per amount of time, like on this, like modding, right? Because I'm pretty sure Shalix or even I didn't mute anywhere near as often, right? As Flat Earth. And by the way, just because
neither
we
of those
did
two
mute,
suggestions
it doesn't mean it was not unjust. What I'm complaining is about not you muting people, but rather that you unjustly mute them.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. It's time for you to go.
You guys need to understand, we got this room permanently by the admins for a good reason. So coming in here complaining about us moderating this room, you shouldn't be doing that.
It's a meta conversation.
I mean, there's an admin here in the server, in the room,
but
right?
you will get on mute if you don't listen, okay? If you butt in every time, you're going to get muted as well. This is called moderation. Simple as that. You don't like it?
Sure. But I'm just saying there's an admin here. They can like give us the rules and shit.
You don't need
to I can look at it too. It's not, if you got a guest room mod, you can look at it. There is tons of mutes in the room they have. Both those guys are buddies, okay, which is why they're squawking about being muted. They run the LGBTQ plus room. There's a record number of mutes in that room. So inside their worldview, I'm not saying I'm not making any comment on if the mute was justified or unjustified, just based off the sheer numbers alone. Inside their world, I take a Dremel tool and I drill into their worldview. Here, if they're in this chat, suddenly they think a mute is only used to shut down conversation. Then you pan that view out and follow them around the world and see what they do with that claim. Inside a space they control, their safe space, they mute too. So it fractures. Their worldview is broken. It shatters into 1,000 pieces because they're not able to follow their logical framework. That's why I'm using it. I'd say people, I don't give a shit. If you go to a room and someone mutes you, you have to cope with that. Find out how not to get muted. Each room's going to have a slightly different dynamic to it. And people get muted and people will not get muted based off lots of things. Hopefully you've got, logic and reasonable moderators who can facilitate a conversation. But many times you won't. This is why a Discord mod is a meme. People talk about, look at that guy as a Discord mod. So if you're going to come here and derail from the topic, expect to get muted. Even if you think other people are derailing too. You follow that logic, okay? If you're talking about something other than the Earth and you get muted, then you know why. It's not time to start crying. It's not time to figure out how victimized you were. It's time to figure out next time, if you don't want to get muted and you want to talk about the Earth and how flat it looks or how curved it looks or whatever criteria you're using to adjudicate the surface of the Earth. Does that make sense, or is that too difficult to comprehend?
I was only thinking about like, you guys mentioned rules, so there's like an admin of the server here, and they can give us the rules or whatever. Like, I don't care about the rooms. The rooms can have their own rules. It's fine.
Okay, so you're able to track.
So obsessed with the admins. What? I don't get it. Like the admins
Because they
are
have
just
all
like
the power on the server. That's what I'm saying.
No,
They know the rules. They know the
have their own
game.
rooms. That's it.
They don't have power unless you give it to them by breaking the rules. Like they're not here just like getting off on like torturing us and abusing us.
Sure. I mean, I never said that. I like Carpi. I've spoken to him for years now.
Okay, so there are
great
server
person.
rules, which means TOS. You're not breaking any of that. They are here to oversee that only. We have our own rules for this VC. They're not here to interfere at all with the room of the VC room rules at all. We are. So you need to get that in your head.
Hey Hank, can you stop streaming? It limits the room thing.
I never screamed. What?
Holy shit!
talking
You
to
are you able to function at all? Are you Hank? Is your name Hank?
Oh, sorry. I thought
Like,
you
what
said
the
my name.
fuck's wrong with you? Are you
I
screaming?
think
I
there's
have
a language
autism.
barrier.
Jesus.
Is English
but
your first language?
No.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Because he thought I was trying to hurt him earlier. And, like,
Yeah,
no one's
I
ever
know.
accused me of that.
It's quite bizarre. It's like you made the choice. Okay, number one, let's just follow the logic. You came into this room by choice, and you will leave this room by choice. Or if you refuse to leave, I can just show you the door. Do you feel like you're victimized here?
Crit, just chill, man. Chill.
No, bro. What?
Okay, then why would you make it seem like I was yelling at you or talking to you? Not everything is about you, homie.
No, I thought you said. Okay, I'm Jewish. Okay, my name is very close to the word Hank. That מדבר עברית, אחי.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, thanks for explaining it. Because from my point of view, it seemed like you had just started freaking out because you thought someone was giving you a command that you couldn't comply with or whatever. Okay, so
I thought like you're saying something to me, and I wasn't like saying that I shouldn't yell, and I wasn't yelling. I mean, I raised my voice, but I have autism, so it's inescapable, I guess.
Yeah, I hear you. I got autism too.
You guys are a riot, man.
Are you high functioning? Or?
No, I've just been told I've been diagnosed with autism by lots of globalists. Apparently, if you think the Earth is flat, that means you're autistic. I'm not really sure I understood that, but I've just kind of accepted that label because it
I don't think that's why you're autistic, Crit.
I went to the doctor as a child, and they said that I have autism.
Yeah, I went to Discord and talked about flat Earth, and a bunch of people told me I was autistic.
Discord cannot detect this. They cannot prescribe anything. Like, why would you listen to them?
Yeah, they're quacks. I've also been told that they're psychologists and I'm schizophrenic and all kinds of things. They told me all about me. So I just at some point you just say sure, whatever. Okay,
It is against the law to diagnose. I think in some countries.
Oh yeah, for sure, medical mispractice.
Listen, Fido, you're autistic because you're Jewish, and Crit, you're autistic because you're Crit. Okay?
There it is. Yeah, and I used to use this point when a lot of globalists would call flat earthers autistic is that do you guys know that all these rocket scientists that you guys think are so smart and so amazing, a lot of them are high functioning autistic. Like they can see the mathematical formulas in their head and they're superhuman in a way. But the thing is the globalist is so stupid. They're so unlearned with this stuff. They think autism is like some kind of dysfunction or disability that where people can't function in society. So I'm like you just just a little bit of education will save a lot of these globalists. Just a little bit of science and a little bit of education, and they'll be able to snap out of their cognitive dissonance.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But it's so offensive when people use autism as a pejorative. It's so offensive. Nobody knows what you struggle with. Like the isolation. Nobody talks to you. People think you're like just mentally ill or subhuman. It's fucking offensive if you haven't lived through it.
Guys, this guy's retarded. No one talked to him.
No, I'm not saying Crit said anything wrong. I'm just saying is that when people use that as a pejorative.
Yeah, I mean, this is I think it might be a good test for you, or intellectual, like Steelman flat Earth for a while, and just see how how toxic it will get, and what people the lengths they'll go to maintain their cognitive dissonance. Like just earlier, like the guy was talking about, if globe, that only flat Earth, like if you kind of break it down, I'll try to boil it real quick. So if globe, flat earthers will silence the truth. They'll silence the truth by muting people in their room when people aren't talking about the earth. Then you follow that logic, like go to the next room. I just go up to the next room, girls only room. I go up there and just start talking about male issues over and over again, or talk about something completely different, just a random topic. They mute me, and then I claim they're silencing the truth. Okay, go up to Stoa, whatever Stoa is about, whatever that. Talk about anything other than that. They mute you for derailing the room. Then declare victory. They muted you. They're silencing the truth. But they're wrong. Then go up to LGBTQ chat. Talk about anything other than that. They mute you. Bang. They muted you because you were talking about the truth. Move on to the next chat. Go to the 24/7 Globe Earth Truth, which is formerly known as a rat cage. Talk about something other than the Globe Earth. They mute you. Declare. See how much of a spiral this
Dude,
is?
is this the formal rat cage? That is so funny because
Yeah.
the number of people that go flat earther and then go back to the globe is really low, but the number of people that leave the globe, oh, we're in here breeding like rats.
Yeah, I thought it was funny too. It was like, well, it's almost
This
like
is entirely
memes.
ironic, right?
It's like memes that write themselves, like the truth is always like, you can make a funny meme and it doesn't really encapsulate the idea, but like sometimes you just look at something, you're like, damn, that's funny.
Is this not ironic?
Yeah, a little case of irony, like he gets
No,
upset. He thinks flat earthers are stupid, and his proof of that is to change his username to self-identify as a flat brain. Wow, you got me,
no,
dude.
I'm talking about the flat earther bullshit. Is that not ironic?
One more time.
Is the belief in a flat earth that is being purported in here not ironic? Do you wish to present an argument and have
a I'm not sure what you mean by ironic there.
discussion instead? What do you mean propose an argument for why the earth is not flat?
Why the earth is a globe, maybe you want to defend it. Go ahead. Tell us what you believe.
Dude, if I could put you in a spaceship right now, I would.
That's not
okay, well, you can't, so what's next?
Well, of course not.
No, how much is it to put somebody in a spaceship?
Good question. Out of my budget, definitely.
Oh,
but
Bezos did it, and he didn't see curvature.
Bezos doesn't see curvature normally. He has like a.
But why couldn't there be space on the flat Earth? There could be space on the flat Earth.
No. Well, of course there's space, right, between you and I, but how could there be like infinite galactic space? Right? Because they say that the light that we're seeing is like 26 billion light years away, and if you do that in miles, it's like a really big, stupid number. How could they know something like that?
How could they know anything? How could they know how gravity exists? How could they know that how gravity works because we don't? How can we know how any law of physics fundamentally functions or why it does what it does because we can't? Like, what is this argument?
It's argument absurd.
Like, what the notion that the space we inhabit is that big is absurd to you? Is it not more absurd that the laws of physics even function in the way that they do? That there are laws to begin with?
Not in my world. That makes perfect sense.
What law of physics will you use today that you will use the curve for the rotation?
I don't even know how to answer that question.
Like, what's something you're gonna do today? Like, what physics are you gonna do? You're gonna get up from your chair at some point? You're gonna walk over, maybe pour a drink from the faucet. You're gonna open up your refrigerator. All these things are all physics that you're doing in real time. Like your brain is constantly doing physics to manipulate your body through space. At what point will you suddenly switch from a flat stationary world and your body will start accounting for the curve and the rotation of the earth?
I still don't know how to answer that. What the fuck are you asking me?
You said if your worldview is true, that you'd have to deny all the laws of physics to maintain a flat and stationary world. I'm asking you, which one am I denying? Which one? So
No,
right now,
that's not what I fucking said. What?
Okay, go ahead then. Let me quote. Can you give a quote?
The only thing I was implying is that we don't. To him, the idea that the observable universe is as vast as it is an absurd concept. Yet we don't even understand why the laws of the universe, why the laws of physics even function fundamentally. I mean, the best explanation anyone can give is God. That's pretty much it. That's all I was saying.
Yeah, I mean that's what Newton, Copernicus, and all the. Yeah, that's why a lot of this heliocentric stuff straight up comes from the Catholic Church as their creation myth. I would say the Catholic Church is wrong. I don't believe anything the Catholic Church says. They're so full of scandal and corruption and just the history of the Catholic Church that everything they say, I'm going to have to follow it perfect down to the last detail.
That is literally impossible. I hope you know that. You are never going to achieve that.
Yeah, that's the point. The point is that they'll never. Their burden of proof is so high that they'll never be able to recover. Expect the Catholic Church. I'm not saying Catholics are wrong. Okay, I'm not going to knock their religion. I'm just not going to believe them. That's a big difference. I don't believe anything they say.
I mean, if you don't believe something, you either think it's wrong or you're too undecided to believe in it or have faith.
Or no, they have their own belief and I have mine, and you do you, boo. As long as they're doing their Catholic stuff over there, and it's not affecting me, more power to them. But I'm not going to adopt their cosmology.
Wouldn't the burden of proof be equally as necessary in your framework? I mean, you still need to prove that the Earth is flat somehow with some, and the burden of proof is probably even more insurmountable than the burden of proof the Catholic Church has to overcome. Because there is no way in fuck that you are ever going to be able to build your own spaceship and go up and then take a picture and then show everyone that the Earth is flat. That is not going to happen in your lifetime. You're going to die before you even get halfway into that project.
You too, and this is the thing, right? If you thought you could do that, you would right away be there.
Yeah, of course. I mean, really, the only way that any of this functions is the fact that you were incapable of providing any proof. Like, if you actually had the resources to go up into space, you wouldn't even be making this argument. But you don't. So instead, you just argue from ignorance.
Okay, and you care because
congratulations, you lost the fucking the D50 or D100 role. You got born into like I don't know, a trailer park. Yeah, it happens. Such as fate.
And you care because
I know. I'm just disappointed as like an outside observer. Not in you necessarily, just the nature of existence, more or less.
Okay, so you're disappointed. That sucks, dude. Maybe just subjectively change your worldview based on this subjective disappointment and turn that frown upside down.
I mean, I could just cop out and I could just make an excuse for it, but that's not really fair, is it?
No, it's fair. You do you, boo. If you want to do something, like if you want, don't say at the end of the day when you've lived your life and everything is said and done, and you're on your deathbed, and they ask you, what is there something you wish you would have done? You could have been like, I wish I would have went to space, but you couldn't because you just played too many video games. You spent too much time on Discord, and some flat earther told you couldn't go to space. So you just gave up on your hopes and dreams. Yeah, don't be that guy. Follow your dream. build a rocket ship and fly it far away.
Steal the rocket ship.
Yeah, do you know that song? My name's Blurry Face, and I care what you think. We used to build a rocket ship and fly it far away. Now we're laughing at their dreams, and they're laughing on their face. Say, "Wake up, kid! It's time to make your money."
Do you think that ideas like yours make the world more interesting, and does that validate them? Like just the fact that they provide entertainment?
Well, yeah, it's more entertaining than the Globe. The Globe's a fucking laughing stock.
Right.
And if I entertain, I mean, you got entertain or entertainment. Once you really start talking about the Earth and what it is, it becomes, you can start entertaining ideas like, why is it like this? Why did the State Department just release a travel advisory? All Americans leave Belarus. No travel restriction. No Americans can travel to Belarus.
Why is it Ghislaine Maxwell went to prison for sex trafficking to no one?
I don't know what.
See here, this is a song. Just you remind me of this song, "Blurry Face." I'm so stressed out by 21 Pilots. So it says, I wish I found some better sounds that no one has never heard. I wish I found a better voice and sung some better words. I wish I found some chords in some order that was new. I wish I didn't have to rhyme every time I sung. I wish I was told when I got older I'd be able to face my fears and they would shrink. But now I'm so insecure and I care what other people think. See, dude, this is you. You're Blurry Face. My name is Blurry Face and I care what you think. I wish I could go back time into the good old days when my mama would sing us to sleep. But now I'm so stressed out and okay, it just goes into the chorus.
I fail to see how that's analogous to my business.
We used to play pretend. We used to give each other different names. We'd build a rocket ship and we'd fly it far away. We used to use our dreams of outer space, but now they laugh at our face, say, "Wake up, kid. It's time to make your money." So yeah, you've got a dream. You had the hopes of this intergalactic, multi-planet species, like Halo or whatever your video games you like playing. Like you are the Master Sergeant. You are whatever John Crichton, Farscape. I'm trying to think of some sci-fi thing that I had watched. But the reality is, you will live on the flat and stationary world. There's no place to go. You're never going to leave this earth. You're never going to use it as anything other than flat and stationary. And if you want to blame me for that, you can, but it won't work because you had control of your life this whole time. No one was there holding you back but you. So go do it. If you're just for context, okay, it might seem like I'm Reagan this guy. He wanted to put flat earthers into a spaceship and blast them up. And I'm like, why not you do that? You blast yourself up. You go to space if you think that's how you prove the globe to you. And then he got a little upset that we'd all call him liars. Who cares? Who cares if someone calls you a liar? If you know what the truth is, follow it.
All right. Anyone else want to discuss the topic of Earth? Any arguments about the globe belief you have? May present.
I think it's really funny that people think you have to leave the surface of the Earth to measure the surface of the Earth.
No, it's just undeniable evidence. You can just visually see it. I understand. Object permanence. Some people lack that. They literally need to see it.
Yeah, it's called empiricism.
If seeing is believing. I got another quote from that. Let me get the more videos of interviewing. They got one from Brian Cox. So if seeing is believing, so like, how do you know the Earth is a globe? Well, he's like, well, you don't know. You don't know that. but you do know that someone told you it was. So how would you know? Well, you'd have to build a rocket ship and fly it far away, turn around and look back at Earth and say, "Damn, that's a globe." That's why it's so great when the people are like trust the scientists, which is the most anti-science thing you can say, and then when you post direct quotes from them, they're like, "Nah, don't trust the scientists on that. Leave that part out."
No, their go-to is, well, you don't understand the words that are coming out of his mouth. It's like, you haven't read it yet, but you know that I don't understand it because you evaluated the link. That one was nice. Like, when I saw that over here, I was like, oh, these people are, like, really keeping it professional. Not all of them, obviously, but...
Yeah, so here you go, Regis. Here's Brian Cox. Standing
I'm
right
not
there.
listening to a man whose last name is Cox. Thank you.
Okay.
That is extremely homosexual.
He's quite funny. He's one of those scientific. He's like basically the English version of Bill Nye.
How very credible.
No, he's more legit than Bill Nye. Bill Nye is just like an actor.
Oh, okay, but is he more like Tyson?
Yeah,
Is
he's a
like,
science
okay.
communicator. Yeah.
Bill Nye isn't just an actor. Did he not have an engineering degree? I'm pretty sure. I mean, he was an educated man.
So
But
is engineering
holding
science?
Yes, it is. You would know that if you went to college, you fucking Mongoloid.
So
I know this is why you guys get laughed
because
at.
I know for an absolute fact you didn't.
No, I didn't go to college.
Yeah, I know. You didn't have to.
Yeah,
You didn't have to reaffirm that because I already knew.
I didn't have any safe spaces or anything. I just had to go out in the world and like make a living for myself. I didn't get any loans or anything. I just went out and did it, you know.
And I mean, that's what I was talking about before. You're just a victim of your fucking circumstance. This is why you are who you are.
Well, at least I don't have $200,000 in college debt. You know what I mean?
You don't even need that. Dude, you realize that most jobs will like pay for your college, right?
Well, you realize that most jobs, you don't need a diploma. You just fill out an application.
That isn't a counter argument because it's free. So what? You don't need to get a loan for college education. No, I'm saying you need to. College helps you get educated. You can obviously be self-taught, but college is it's more of a guiding framework.
Okay. Cool.
And if it's offered for free and your only counter argument is the loans, then you don't have a counter argument.
Well, they can take it away. They're trying to take it away from Jordan Peterson. So I hope they never try to take your paper away. Because that would suck. So
Well,
they're just
thankfully, I'm not a Jordan Peterson type character.
Right. Because they would just take it away even though you paid for it. It's not really yours. They're just loaning you a degree.
Bro, do you really think Jordan Peterson can't like pay to get it back? Do you really think he's lacking funds? Him, of all people.
Did I say that?
No, but I mean the implication is, oh, he's losing his diploma that he paid into, right? That's pennies to him. Like he financially, this will not set him back at all.
I'm not worried about the guy's finances, bro.
Then don't mention whether or not he paid into it. It doesn't fucking matter to someone like that. Like, I wish I could just take you across the world and show you the different echelons, the different tiers of society. You would be shocked what does and does not matter to so many people.
I don't care.
At some point, money is so superfluous it becomes borderline psychotic.
I don't care about money. Like, money's stupid.
I highly doubt that. Like, if you're just some odd job guy, you definitely care about money because how the fuck else are you gonna make ends meet for the month?
Well, I mean, yeah, you got to work to eat. I mean, that's like a natural law.
No, I mean technically it's not. I mean, you could go out into the woods and just spear like squirrels and cook them over a fire.
Do you add force to the spear?
What?
Do you add force to the spear?
I don't think I need to add anything to the spear to make it kill a squirrel.
Yeah, you got to put force behind it. The spear is just gonna fly up and kill the squirrel on its own or something.
No, I'm just saying, regardless of whether or not I assign a force value to a fucking spear, it's still a spear.
You have to work to kill the squirrel. You have to use the spear to hunt the squirrel down and stab it. That's work.
Yeah, but I mean, the payment is direct to you. It's not like trickled down. I mean, it's calories in the form
said
of the.
you don't have to work to eat.
It sounds like you haven't thought this through, and you're just saying that, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to the forest and spear squirrels, and it's gonna be so easy because it's easy.
Oh no, it's not that it's easy. It's just less of a what's the word for it? Less
Right, but you're
artificial.
educated, and you said that you don't have to work to eat. It's not a natural law. And I said,
That's
do
not
you
what I
have
was
to put
implying.
force? Okay, what did you mean when you said that?
Well, I working to eat.
He means he has no idea. He means he's been making money, and he pays the Mexicans to do the work for him. That's what.
Bro, I'm second generation immigrant. My dad was Honduran. Fuck you.
Yeah, but you still got the money now, and you pay the other people to do the work for
No,
you, so
I
you
don't.
don't have to do it.
I literally fucking don't.
You just hit the keyboard and get the money, and someone will bring your shit to your door, right?
No. I actually used to use DoorDash. That was a very depressing part of my life.
So you do use DoorDash, right? You have it
No, I
installed on your phone right now?
I past tense, I did.
So do you uninstall it already? You don't use it anymore?
Yeah, I made I made the independent choice not to pay into that system anymore.
What about Amazon Prime? Do you still pay for that?
Yeah, but I mean that's it. That is literally.
Oh, there you go.
What I don't use Amazon that much. I feel like once every 4 months, maybe.
Yeah, but don't you have to thrust the spear? So you do have to work to eat.
Yes, it's work, but it's less artificial. It's more realized in the moment. You kill squirrel, you get calories in the form of the meat. When you work at a retail store, first, right, the funds have to be dispersed from corporate. Then then taxes have to be deducted. And then you're handed a fucking piece of you used to be handed money. Now it's just deposited digitally into your banking accounts. And then you go buy some processed trash that may or may not have empty calories.
And that's what you
Or
get
you
when
could
you're
go-
domesticated with the educational system.
Cool. So if we're in some form of agreement, then maybe go out into the woods and just be a fucking caveman. Be free. Don't even think about anything anymore. Just think about your survival in the immediate moment.
I know it really depends on what type of life we're talking.
Nothing's stopping you. Literally, nothing is stopping you.
You used to build a rocket ship, but now they're laughing at your face.
Okay.
Your blurry face, man.
I don't
What
really
will
derive
happen
my
to that?
philosophical.
What will happen to that lady in the high echelons of life that has all the money, and then she doesn't have any money anymore? You think she's gonna grab a stick and hunt for the squirrels and be successful in her hunting experience?
No, she'll go work at a brothel.
I thought we were just arguing over whether or not work to eat was a natural law, and it seems we came to the conclusion work to eat is a natural law, and it's just a matter of how much work.
Or how artificial that work is. Or who that works Larry,
you're hot miking. Just a sec. Larry, you're hot miking.
Sorry.
Thank you. All right.
All you need is money for life. That's all you need, bro. You don't need anything else. Money, right?
No, you really don't. I mean, like I said, you could just go out in the woods and hunt to eat, and at that point, money is completely meaningless.
No, you don't need that. You just get money and you pay someone else to do it, bro. Come on, don't be silly.
Yeah, but then that inevitably spirals into consumerism, mass consumerism, and you see the consequences of that. There's a garbage patch in the Pacific the size of France.
There's gotta be an option between mindless consumerism and literally becoming a chimpanzee.
Oh, there is. Bold of you to assume that people can actually meet that themselves or achieve that themselves independently.
All you need is do a Craigslist app post, a Craigslist post, and say, "Hey, this much money, so you can go get me the squirrels," and they'll get it for you, bro. Easy.
Okay. Do you have a point to pointing? Do you have a point to that, like pointing out that that services can be rendered? Like I don't.
Hey, you're the one saying that there's different levels in life, and there's some people in high places that are better than you, right?
I mean, I wouldn't say they're better than me. Some of them are, but not all of them.
Have you seen the movie Parasite?
You mean the one with the homeless people living in the wealthy person's house? I think.
Yeah.
It was the plot of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen the movie. I have.
Okay, that's kind of what you're putting down here, isn't it? Because the wealthy person's house was so big that they didn't know that a full family was living in the house with them at the same time. That's kind of what you're putting, that like somehow this is the wealthy person's house and the whole world is their house, and all these poor people are just kind of living in it, and the wealthy people don't really notice what's going on with the poor people.
Oh, of course they don't. It doesn't concern them.
That doesn't concern them, but they don't clean their own toilets, and they don't do the packagings for their Amazon packages, right? But doesn't concern them because they got the money, right? They just have to press buy, add to cart, buy, and that's it. That's the only concern.
Yes.
So in the movie Parasite, what do you think? Who were they implying was a parasite? Like who do you think? Like what was it trying to say? From the face of it, right? It sounds like the poor people living in the rich person's house. They're the parasites, right?
I think it simply depends on the lens that you view the story through.
Yeah. So you're able to view it through both lenses? Is kind of what I was asking.
Yes. The only impression.
Imagine if all the low level people disappeared, and all the ladies that clean the toilets and clean the mansions. You think that the rich people are gonna just clean all these $20 million mansions by themselves, and their children are gonna do it for them? They're gonna run crazy. Imagine when they have to do the landscaping themselves. Oh god. Keep the house pretty, the windows clean, without the poor people, right? They're coming to do the job. It'll be an amazing sight to see. The echelons of like the levels. They're so amazing that they're gonna get this job done themselves, right? We don't need the workers. We can just press a button. Press a button and everything is gonna be done by itself.
What game you playing there, Regis?
I'm not. What? I'm not playing a game. I'm working in the background.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I figured. I just thought so because I heard you keyboarding and stuff.
He's making money for the overlords. He's making money for his overlords. He has to.
Figured he was smashing that S key.
The alternative is going into the woods and hunting squirrels. And my friend, I'm not really interested in that. Thank you.
You wouldn't eat tree rats if you didn't have to pay taxes and always bow down to the man and wear, a muzzle and all that stuff.
Wear a muzzle. Dude, nukes exist. At this point, the power dynamic is so lopsided that there's nothing you can do.
You know who this guy reminds? You know who this guy reminds me of? You got remember the dude Nito? He used to come
Who?
around Flather. Nito, and like it's like not in education or like training or gainful employment or whatever. He used to come around on the Flather server about maybe about 2 years ago.
Nope.
Like, okay.
I'm shocked this guy made that much of an impact on you.
You know, he just did. It's just a character where somehow it's like he's a real doomer. Like everything, it didn't matter. He ended up getting a. Last time I talked to him, he ended up getting some sort of DUI.
Don't fucking insult me by calling me a nihilist. Fuck you.
No, that's not a nihilist. He just says like
that is a nihilism. That nothing matters, doomer. That is nihilism.
No, he said nothing matters because we lost. We already lost. You just don't know it yet. You think you're still in the game, but the overlords, the champion, they've already won. They set the stage. Like they've beat you so spectacularly that you think you still have a fighting chance, and they're just kind of like toying with you at this point. And then he ended up getting a DWI, and he wasn't even drunk. Like he had like he basically had
wait, what? DWI?
Yeah, driving while intoxicated.
I'm pretty sure it's DUI.
Yes, driving.
It's different in different states.
Wait, different states?
Yeah, this is where you show you have a lack of education. Because here's Larry. Yeah, you don't know basic legal terms and which states pass which laws, and that states have control. This is like 5th grade civics that you just brain farted.
I have never really cared to study the minutia of driving, like drunk driving laws, because I don't drink alcohol.
I don't either, bro. I don't care either.
Good for you, actually.
You don't drink, really.
No, I don't drink at all. Never, ever, never.
It's poison.
Well, wonderful. Okay.
Yeah, there's people in the United States that don't drink alcohol. Yes.
It makes your brain swell. You know what else makes your brain swell? Concussions.
So the story ended up being that he was able to prove he had not drunk enough scientifically, mathematically. I did not drink enough to become intoxicated. But he got convicted anyway because he said it must have been some prescription pill or you took allergy medicine. You did something. Basically, here's all he hired a lawyer who was going to fight it because he was a commercial driver too. So it was real important that he kept the DUI off his record. And the prosecutor said, "Hey, I'll plead this down to like something a little bit lesser than reckless driving, like distracted driving or something like that." He's like, "No, fuck you. I was just out with dinner. I was just having a date. I had 2 beers over the course of 3 hours. I wasn't drunk." And yeah, and they convicted him anyway. Basically the police officer went up on the stand and said, "Based on my training and expertise, I saw him weaving. He was driving erratically. I conducted a traffic stop. His eyes were bloodshot.
And then he confirmed, and then he confirmed that by being a witness against himself by saying, "Yep, I did it." And the judge, the people were like, "Oh, you did it, yeah."
Yeah, he confessed to drinking a couple beers earlier in that day, and based on my training and experience, they always round down. If they tell me then I asked the suspect, "Are you tired, or have you had too much to drink tonight, son?" And he confirmed with a yes.
And it says in the book right here that if it says in the book right here, if we can check these 3 marks right here, you admit to it, you're accused of it, it checks the marks, so then you have to pay for it. Pay for it.
Well, you got the right to contract unlimited. I mean, if you want to contract with those people, there's nothing saying you can't.
Yeah, so he was really sort of, I wouldn't say toxic, but a little hostile towards Flat Earth because we talk about, the government's lying to you, they're being dishonest. He's like, the lie's too big. It's not possible for the government to lie about the shape of the Earth. And you're like, well, dude, they'll lie about anything. Then so after he got this DWI, he's like, holy shit, You're right. The government will literally lie about anything. They got pissed. I didn't take. He basically for I'm not directly quoting, but his story says his story he said was they got mad that I didn't take a plea bargain and just fucking slammed me in court. He said I'm going to pay for this the rest of my life. He says it ended up being almost like $26,000 for driving drunk when he wasn't drunk. Because that's it. He's fucked. I don't know how this is going to be a thing that will follow me for the rest. I go, yeah. A lot of people say a life sentence. A life sentence is like 20 plus years. No, every sentence is a life sentence. Like if you run a stop sign and they say that's $35, that's for life. They took your allowance away for life. You'll never get that back. So, I mean, this is what I think a lot of the globalists need. They need to learn the hard way. That if they think the government is not going to lie to them, they need to get into that point of view where, wow, they will lie.
Remember, in the book, remember the stop sign, right? Example. Let's say it's a 4-way stop sign, and there's 4 vehicles almost stopping around the same time. So whoever makes it first to the stop sign stops first, and then he's the first one that goes, right? And then as a follow-up, the second one, the third one, and the fourth one, right? That's common sense. And everything looks good there. Everything was safe. Everybody made it home or to the church or to work. Perfect. But then it could be like 3 in the morning, like 99% of people are sleeping, and you go to you see the stop sign, and you can see the next street. There's no one coming. There's nobody walking. You're by yourself in the middle of nowhere. And then you don't do the full stop on that stop sign, even though you're the only one on the street. If you don't do the full stop and a camera sees you doing that, they can ticket you. And if you don't pay for that ticket, it's going to accumulate within time. You get your license suspended, right? Your life can be thrown into a black hole just because you didn't stop correctly on that stop sign, right? And nobody needed you to stop. It was just that in the book says, if you don't follow this rule, we will destroy your life. Even though it didn't affect anyone. Just because, the book said so. It's kind of amazing.
Yeah, Mark. I saw your text. Can you talk? Like, do you have a mic? I was kind of curious what some of the roles are. I've noticed people coming in and out with like Shogun or Legendary or whatever. Normally, I don't really give a shit about roles, but I thought since you brought it up, that mofo is literally a Shogun. What do you expect from him?
Rules
Like you're an
are kind of
ambassador.
rules are kind of weird, but if you're on someone else's property, they're like the king of the castle. It's their laws, right? But if you're talking
Oh, I
about
was talking about role. Yeah, but that's a good point too. I meant role. The guy had like Shogun role, like server
sorry.
role. Yeah, but that's a good point too with the rules. Go.
Yeah, you want me to continue? Okay, so
Yeah, for sure.
Like if it's rules in someone's house, those are laws. Like that's their property, that's their domain, that's their dominion, right? But if it's like, a government facility and there's no law attached to it, like of course if it says do not enter, employees only, employee parking, then yeah, you got to obey those rules. But if it's like you can't use your phone in here, like what? Like, is there a law against phones now that I don't know about? Did Congress get together and, pass a bill, the No Cell Phone Act? Like, what are you talking about? These rules don't apply to me. Those are your rules. That's your policy, lady.
Also remember that there's rules and laws until there's an emergency. There's an emergency, then the government can do whatever they want against
That's
you.
right.
So they
And
can
they can
create
create.
emergencies
Yep.
to break the laws.
Yeah, and it's all legal, right?
Oh, there's an emergency. You have no rights.
Got to suspend that Constitution. It's a really old document anyway. Because you know what the Constitution is? It's basically limiting the authority of the government. If you think about it, it doesn't apply to us, like unless you like swore an oath to it and joined the military or something. But if you're just like a regular guy, you know, the Bill of Rights doesn't apply to you. Like you're not a party to it. But if you know, swore an oath to it, then you're a party to it, and that's why you can be held to it. Just like I'm not, you know, a party to a public servant's policy where she can't use cell phones at work, but if I'm in public, like, who are you? Who are you to tell me what I can and can't do? Like, oh, you work here, like in a public building? Oh, you're a public servant, and you're telling me, the public, what I can and can't do? Like, I get it if it's a law. Like, show me the law and I'll obey the law. But you got like some policy? I didn't agree to that policy. That's your policy.
Yeah, but you see this badge right here, bro? You see this badge right here? It means I can do whatever I want.
Well, your authority stops at the limitation of the Constitution, the Bill of Rights.
Well, but there's an emergency, so that means nothing right now.
Well, if that's the rule, that we're throwing away the rules, then that would apply for me too, right? I mean,
No, but you don't have a badge. You don't have a badge. I have the badge.
oh, so I don't have a costume?
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, if I stumble into an unauthorized personnel area and I accidentally walk past a sign, like, whoop, my mistake. Pardon me, I'll get out of here. Right, but in public areas like the sidewalk, like I've seen people get arrested for like filming on the sidewalk. Like, what the fuck? How is that possible? Like, only North Korea arrests journalists. Oh, wait, that's not true. America does too. Like, persecuting journalists is weird, man. Yeah, I kind of wonder, like, how many people actually know about natural law and, you know, all the ancient documents where people talked about it, recognized it, you know, practiced it. Like, I wonder how many people today know. Like, isn't it true that criminals always try to do their crimes in, you know, private so that they don't get found out because they innately know what they're doing is wrong? So everybody knows, like, you don't have to be taught, right? You don't have the right to steal someone's life, their wife, their property, or anything, right?
Are you able to click links at the moment, Hank, and listen to a short video? It's like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Let me check again.
If it's coming from you, I'll click on
Just
it.
posted it. It's probably like 30 seconds or something.
The Oh, I've seen it. Is this the one where he laughs?
And she's only, I mean, she's not worth much because she was only 26. I think he's speaking almost in the private side. He's like speaking on the fence because you know how there's a private side of value of people when they die, when they pass, and there's monies being exchanges being passed around on their, you know, based on their names and their estate and that kind of stuff. So it's insurances and all that kind of stuff. So she's not worth much because she was only 26, you know.
Bro, I'll just
That's
listen to
kind
it.
of crazy. Limited value. She was 26.
Wow, bro. That is so weird to hear, you know? And to think that
They're speaking
somebody
on the
gave
private
this.
side, but on the fence.
Right.
Go ahead, bro. My bad.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, they're speaking in public. You're not supposed to mix private and public, and that's why, right? Because when we hear stuff like that, it should like make you absolutely livid that he laughed and said, "Write a $11,000 check." Like that woman, whoever she was worth way more than $11,000. You can't even put money on it, like what she was worth. Like that was somebody's daughter. That was somebody's friend. You know what I mean?
Even someone's mother, you know, 26. She could be a mom as well. Oh, it's just yeah. That's the state of the parasite. The parasite mindset.
Dude, does that not make you sick at your stomach? To know that there are people out there like this, like wolves in sheep's clothing. Like that dude is a ravenous wolf, but he looks like a sheep, like one of us, right? And he's just completely numb to the fact that this person just lost their life, got separated from their body, and everybody's going to be like in so much agony over this. And to him, it's just, you know, all right, I love you. It's just 11 grand. What is that like? What is that like? 4 months worth of work at minimum wage or something like that.
Well,
Like,
remember the ambulance guy is getting paid, the forensic guy is getting paid. He's getting paid by doing the job and talking on the phone about this. The insurance is cashing in. It's a bunch of people are making money. Everybody's like taking a piece of that lady that passed. Except, you know, the people that should be actually maybe getting something from the cake. But since they don't know about the private, they're getting zero most likely. I mean, they might be getting something from the public side if they sue or whatever from the insurance, but that is not worth the value of someone's life, obviously. Family member, a friend, a sister, a brother, you know, and just laughing about it, and like it's a joke. Like you're saying, he's desensitized to care. I mean, what is he gonna do, right? Just make a joke about it. Kind of crazy. Limited value. Those terms sound to me like he's speaking on the private side, but yep, that's how it is.
Do we have any Globers in here who wants to speak up, maybe? Or just listening in the back?
They ran away. They don't want it. They don't want it this early.
Just checking in once in a while.
They see Hank in here, and they're gonna be like, "No, thank you." Manufactum is always here. He's always looking to, prove the globe, even though he can't. But he's always looking forward to do it. And how to debunk anybody that goes against the globe. He's like the 24/7 globe defender superhero of the 24/7 flat earth chat. He dropped out.
Sorry, didn't who was it, Jedi last night say that people in different latitudes can't resolve the light to come from a single source?
A single source, bro. How do you know? Were you talking about the sun, or what are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean that seemed to settle it last night.
Settle what? Like there's a sun in the sky? Yeah, that's settled. Everybody knows that.
A sun, a single sun?
A sun.
So, using trigonometry, we should be able to resolve that to one location, right?
Have you ever seen a light that is 360 degrees and many people from multiple positions can look at it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so people at different spots can see the light. Yeah.
Yeah, and they all see the light coming from the same place, right?
Amazing.
And they all see the light coming from the same place?
They all see the light. They all see it.
Right. They all see it at the same source, coming from the same source, yes?
From the sky.
Why are you dodging this? You get a 360
Why are you
light,
dodging this?
and
Why are
everybody
you
sees
dodging
it
it?
coming from the same place, correct?
Like a
What
rainbow.
place? Do you know where the sun is? You know where it is? Your own claim is that you don't, when you're looking at the sun, it's not even there, it's in a different position. That's your claim. So you're
Still
looking at
waiting for
something that is not there,
an
but you
answer.
can still see it.
When you're
right?
finished with this, I'm
You're
going to
looking at
ask you the same
something.
question.
You're looking at something that is not there, but you can still see it. Can you on the globe?
Are you going to answer the question or not?
Are you gonna dodge this one?
You're dodging. I'm asking you the question. You have not answered it yet.
Yeah, you can. I answer you. You can see the
Is there
sun
a
in the
single
sky.
light
Yes, you can
source?
see it.
Yes or no?
You don't know that. I don't know that. You don't know what the sun is, how it works,
you
what's the
don't know
medium
it's
that
a
it's
single
in,
light
what's the
source.
distance. You imagine that it is
So
whatever
the
you
answer
have
to
in
that
your
question
mind,
is
but you
no?
actually don't know. No, you don't know what it is.
What? So do you know?
I don't know what it is, but you're making claim that as you know, but you don't know.
So the
That's
answer
the
to
thing.
that question is no. Then. That's your answer to that
you
question?
don't know. That's the answer, that you don't know.
He said he doesn't
I
know.
asked you the question though.
You just broke your worldview because now you don't know what the word "no" means, and you don't know what the word "I don't know" means. So if you hear "I don't know," you would suddenly think that's the word "no."
Either let the adult speak
you
or
want to hold
speak.
on? Okay, yeah, you can hold on. Poor guy just broke his own worldview and suddenly couldn't take it.
Oh, am I unmuted now?
Yeah, you had to hold on.
Okay.
Do you need to hold
Can
on
I get
longer?
an answer to my question?
You got one. Repeat back the answer.
What's the question?
I didn't.
So
Do
you
we
don't
see
have an answer, and the answer is cope. Dude, you are very broken. Your
I was
worldview is
asking a
very
question,
shattered.
and my question was dodged.
And
Matrix
the answer
style
was
dodged.
I don't know.
Oh, so you don't know
if everyone around that 360
So is
light
that a
sees
dodge
the
or
light
not?
from a single
We'll
point.
go step by step and dissect your worldview here. So if someone said, if you ask a question, someone says, I don't know the answer to that. Was that question dodged or not dodged?
That's not what he said.
Okay. He's retarded. He needs more time to think. His worldview's so broken, he can't even fix it to get for himself to understand his own question and answer. Just think about it. You don't know is an answer for you. It should be an answer for other people too then.
He wants to establish that the sun is this thing that he has in his mind, and it has to be that, and it has to work the way it has to work for him. And if it's not that way, you're wrong.
So what
by
he
making
wants
an
to do,
observation.
he wants to come in here, he sees 24/7 flat Earth and talk all about the sky. And you're like, dude, you're looking the wrong way. He goes, I don't know if I'm looking the right way or the wrong way. I go, okay, well, you don't know that if you're what way you're looking. I'm telling you that if you're looking up, that is not looking down. That's looking up. They're opposites. Okay. So fix your worldview and look down if down. And then you can be talking about the topic of this channel. Then you can find out why you're being muted or unmuted or whatever. Because if you're talking about the sky, they're make your sky channel 24/7 sky Earth and talk about like the show with Sky Captain on the Edge of Tomorrow. You got
The
your
things
little
that he
aircraft.
doesn't know, but he claims he knows. He talks about the sun like he knows what's happening there, and you have to adjust to his belief about it. You have to follow what he says about it.
But he doesn't believe
And
anything.
agree. You have to agree with him.
Yeah, he
So,
doesn't even know
two
what he
things.
believes.
No, two things. I know what I believe. You have no idea what I believe. So let's first establish that we can gain some knowledge or come to some
Let's
conclusions
test this.
by looking
Were
at
you
the
given
sky.
an answer? Yes or no?
By you, Gemsy didn't.
Okay, I suppose that's enough to get you a delayed walking of the plank.
Go ahead. What is your claim? What is your claim?
My claim
What
is
is
that we can
your
come to
case?
some conclusions or gain some knowledge about the Earth by observing the sky. That's my
That's
first
bat
claim.
shit. That's literally bat shit.
Really? So the sky appears to move in relation with the ground, correct?
Go ahead. State your case.
Yes. So do we agree thus far?
Go ahead. State your case, sir.
I stated
the
my
panel
case.
is
So we can come
listening.
to some conclusions or gain some
Is that
knowledge
your
about the
case?
Earth by observations of the sky. That's the first thing we need to establish before I can actually make my case.
Yeah, you and I, when we're standing on the ground at different positions, we can both see the sun.
Okay, so that gives
Depending
us
where we're
some
standing.
knowledge about the Earth, correct?
That you're standing on the ground? Sure, we're standing on the ground, yes.
No, that we can see the sun.
Oh, from the ground, from standing on the ground, we can see the sun. Yes, we can see it. Yes.
And that gives us some knowledge, or we can reach some conclusions about the Earth from celestial observations, correct?
No.
No.
No, because you could take it out completely. What did it change the Earth?
What I'm saying is, if we
He's
observe
gonna
that
say,
the sky is
if we
moving
can
in
see the
relation to the
sun,
ground, either one or the other must be moving, correct?
Or both, maybe.
Or both.
So you've got three things, and each one of them are all logically consistent.
No.
So therefore, you just factor them out.
No, because if both are, no, it's a matter of how much. Because if there's some motion perceived, one is moving in relation to the other. Maybe they're both not stationary, but they're not moving at the same rate or in the same direction, or there's some difference there.
Oh, I see. Okay, you want to take out all of relativity. I gotcha. All of relativity is wrong because you want the sky to prove the ground.
How the hell did you get there?
That's what he told you. Everything's relative. You can tell it's moving because it's not moving.
So how does
if
that
he's
get
wrong,
rid of relativity?
Yeah, because he'd be wrong for you to be right.
No, you're describing relativity. These two things are moving relative to each other.
Your case.
Yeah, if you want to throw out all of relativity, you do.
Who's throwing out all of relativity? Where is that coming from?
You are.
How?
Because you want to say it's not relative. It's the Earth that's moving because other things are moving.
Okay, listen, I'm going to try this again. Listen very closely, okay? From Earth, standing still with relation to the Earth, the sky appears to move. So we can say,
you say
that
it's not.
one or the
It's not
other is moving in relation to the other.
Or both.
No. Both are moving, but they're moving either in different directions or at different speeds. But there's a movement when you subtract those two that is a difference of some kind.
Okay, so let's just get back to the surface of the Earth then. Because obviously there's just no way of knowing. It could go one of three different directions.
What's wrong with what I just said?
Yeah, you have no idea what you're looking at.
You're saying you are saying that it's moving and it's not moving at the same time. Like you don't know,
No,
but you
I'm
know.
saying that it's
but
moving
you don't
in
need
relation
to know.
No, I'm saying the two things are moving in relationship to each other.
Why is that the case? Do you have how do you know that?
Have you ever been on a train?
How do you know the ground is moving? How can you make the statement that okay, so the ground is moving
Have you ever
because the
been on a
sky is
train?
moving?
So the train is moving. So now you're on the train.
train
Is
is
the
moving.
sky moving too?
You are in the
making
train.
an example that is very, very easy to understand.
Add the movement to the train. We've added another movement in there.
Okay, so the train is moving. You are in the train.
Stop. Everyone stop. Do you actually want to have this discussion or no?
Do you want to have it? I don't think you want to have it.
Someone who's only pretending not to understand.
I mean, I told you yes.
You know what
you are in a train.
examples are,
You
yes?
you brought the train example. You are in the train. The train is moving. You're looking at the sun. Yeah. I've done that. I've seen the sun while I'm in a train. I've seen it.
Have you been on a train before? Simple question. Have you been on a train before?
I'm in a train right now in my imagination. I'm in a train.
Okay, good.
It's
perfect.
moving.
So you're in a
and I
train.
can see the sun.
It's not moving yet. No, hold on. You're at the station.
Oh, the
right?
train is
You're
not
sitting
moving.
on the train, waiting for it to go. You look out the window and you see the train next to you, right? And now what you see is
there's two
the
trains.
train next
There's
to you.
two trains.
There's two trains. You're on one of them. Okay.
I'm in one train. Yeah. I mean, like on top of the train or inside the train?
Are you going to engage with us seriously or you're going to fuck around?
Well, if I'm inside the train in a sealed container, it's going to be a little different than being outside of the train.
You can do this, but you relinquish the ability to say that I'm the one who's like fucking coping. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous what's happening right now.
You can
Wait, what do you mean? You're saying that
everyone in this room can see exactly what's happening.
You can fuck around and find out.
Yeah, there's multiple ways to ride a train. We all know that.
All right. Well, I'll be here when you guys want to be adults.
Are you denying that you can be on the outside of the train? Are you denying that? Why are you denying reality, bro?
He denied all of reality.
Matter of fact, have you ever been on a train?
He ran.
I know he did.
I didn't run. I'm just waiting for someone to be an adult. So just at me when you're ready to have this conversation honestly, because I got shit to do.
Okay, I'm in the train and I see another train. Go ahead. What's your case? You still haven't established any case yet.
We're all on trains. Everyone get on the train, the choo-choo train, and we're all moving.
So when this happens, there's sometimes a moment where you're not sure which train is actually moving. The only thing you can say about this situation is that one or the other is moving, or that they are moving in relation to each other. Right?
Wait, you're saying that I consciously got inside a train and it hasn't moved yet, or is it moving? Which one?
You're not sure because all you see is a train outside your window moving in relation to your train.
What are you? Wait, from what
If
point
you've
I
ever
went
been on a
from
train, this is
walking?
a
Wait.
perfectly
From
understandable
which
phenomenon.
point? From which point I went to buying the ticket, walking towards the train, getting inside of the train, and waiting for it to start moving. Which one is it? Like, did it start moving already, or are we stationary? Which one is it? What timing of the day is it? Did it leave the station or not yet? Which one?
Can somebody
The
explain to
moment?
me why the Earth is flat?
No, and they're not going to take you up on that because I think it's up to us to prove it's wrong.
All right, are you gonna answer for people in here? You got the answers, manufacturing. You have the
I was
answers,
just
right?
helping him save time.
Well, like
That's all.
my understanding to like why the Earth isn't flat, because like if you look at the moon, like
The moon.
it's a circle to us, right? But like if the moon was flat, it wouldn't be a circle to us. It would be like a straight line. And same thing with the stars. It wouldn't be like a fully formed dot. It would just be like a little line. We probably wouldn't even see it.
So when you imagine the thing that you're standing on, and you say, okay, it is flat, right? Let's say you're standing on a flat thing, and you're trying to see that on the moon. You're trying to see the thing you're standing on, and you're looking at the moon to see it.
What the fuck did you just say?
You're standing on the ground, and you're
I'm
looking at
standing
the
on the
moon
ground
to
and I'm looking at
see
the
the
moon to
thing under
see
your
it.
feet.
Yeah.
So you're standing at the ground, right? You're standing on the ground, right? You're standing on the ground, like right now. Stand up,
If the Earth was
and
flat,
then you look up. You look up. So where is the Earth? Under your feet or above your feet? Where is the Earth?
all around me.
The Earth is around you, like under
All
your
around.
feet or above your feet.
It can be both, above and under my feet.
Oh God.
You do understand how
There's no up and
elevation
down.
works, right? You do
So
understand how
there is no up and
altitude
down.
works, right? There absolutely isn't up and down. I'm standing in a place where if I took 2 steps that way, the Earth goes down. If I took 2 steps the other way, the Earth goes up. So
Up and
it can
down.
be both, up and
Oh
down.
God.
Correct. It's not just one same plane.
I think
One
AI wanted to
vertical.
say something. AI, you wanted to say something, AI, or?
Oh yeah, I was just saying when you want to know some, something looks like they say your face, you look in the mirror and it shows you your face. When you look at the moon, it doesn't show you the Earth.
I'm not trying to see the Earth. I'm trying to. You guys are like, you guys aren't answering my question because I feel like you guys just. I, I'm trying to learn something. I'm not trying to like
Dude, you
disprove you
answered it
guys, right?
yourself. You
But
answered it yourself.
if the Earth was actually flat,
It's
right?
flat. Okay, it's flat.
If we looked at the moon,
Then you're not looking at the Earth if the Earth is flat.
why is the moon all different shapes and sizes? Not shape or not
Yeah.
sizes, but
Yeah, the
shapes.
moon.
Why does the moon take different shapes? Why is it not like a straight line? You know, like maybe it's
Why
not
the
a straight
moon?
line because it's angled to us. Because that's the only thing that we can see clear as day.
If moon, if Earth, therefore moon, if Earth.
Oh my goodness, dude, that's like saying, why is my girlfriend thin and your girlfriend's fat? It's ridiculous, dude.
Who, me or the other guy?
You.
How so?
It sounds to me like you're saying, if the Earth is flat, why isn't the moon flat? That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Well, that's retarded, my friend.
Well, how?
Because the one thing doesn't dictate the other thing. Okay, you asked a question, why is the Earth flat? And then you went on to say, if the moon was flat. Think about it. Why is your girlfriend
Well,
thin? If my girlfriend was
I
fat,
just never knew that you guys didn't assume that all the other planets were flat too.
well, why would we do that, dude? That's non sequitur. That's illogical.
Well,
What do you
I
think
mean,
being a flat earther means you're illogical?
if you believe that the Earth is flat, why wouldn't the other planets be flat too?
Why would they?
I don't know. You guys tell me. You guys believe the Earth is flat.
Okay, here's a clue. The Earth is the Earth, and all the things in the sky are what they are. They're not the Earth. So why would one dictate what the other one is?
So are we just like the center of the universe?
Dude, have you ever heard of the axis of evil?
Nope.
Okay, so most people think the axis of evil, rightly so, based on history, is the Nazis and their allies, right? The Axis powers. But actually, in this context, the axis of evil is the discovery that the alleged cosmic microwave background actually centers on the Earth, and the Earth is actually the center of the universe. So yes, the answer is the Earth is the thing, bro. It's what it's all about.
So like we're all just on the same level.
Yeah. Yeah, brother,
Then
the Earth.
how come if you looked at the stars, you could see different stars from what I'm seeing right now? If the Earth was flat, we could all see the same stars at the same time.
Well, that's assuming the nature of the star field, which has never been.
Keyword there is level.
You seem to make a lot of assumptions about what the sky is, having never been there. I find that odd. You see, the thing is, if we're standing on the Earth, then the Earth is the Earth. It has nothing to do with what goes into the sky.
Oh yeah, I think we got a lot of Pavlovian dogs with neuron mirroring. They watch TV and they can't differentiate between TV and reality to the point where they think what they see on TV is reality, and we're idiots because we don't believe what we saw on TV.
That's an interesting point. But the problem is you're blaring your mic too bad. It's hard.
I don't understand. I don't know anything about flat Earth. I was hoping you guys were.
You know when you look at the TV and you're watching a movie and you see like a chicken in the movie and the cartoon. It's a chicken in the cartoon, and you say that's a chicken.
Yeah.
You see that? You see that cartoon? That's a chicken right there.
Yep.
Is it a chicken? Can you cook it and eat it? No, but it is a chicken.
Yes. This is true. Chicken cartoon, can't eat it, but it is a chicken. Where are you going with this?
Can you explain the chicken?
Yeah.
AI, my bad. Real quick, guys. AI, you may have to adjust your mic or something because you are coming through, but not really.
Gemsy, explain the chicken.
He said the chicken's on TV.
You're saying you see the cartoons that I see about the solar system and the stars and all the the conjure ideas about those things in TV. You're saying that's what I see when I look at the sky.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm taught in school.
Exactly. So you see the cartoon chicken, and you're saying, yeah, that cartoon chicken, that's what I see when I see a real chicken.
Okay, so why are you guys shitting on me for believing in something that I was taught in school? And I'm asking you guys.
You know, in some movies, the chickens can dance. You know, in some movies, you can cook the chicken, and then that chicken can come back to life and do things, and also those chickens can sing, can talk. You know, in some of the movies, that chicken can actually speak to people, make drawings.
You're a liar.
Okay, you never seen like Disney, like the place that show you about the planets, the Star Wars, and all those all those ideas that you have about space and and planets and stars that
Okay,
you saw in the cartoon.
You're hurting my brain.
The same thing with the chicken that can dance and sing and talk to people. You have the same idea about the stars.
Shit. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, hopefully you can get the point.
Do you know the chicken, or you
Very
don't know the
good.
chicken?
No, I don't think he knows any chicken. He's not very good at making points.
It's really interesting because he just said that his brain was hurting, and I've heard that cognitive dissonance is like actually causing discomfort, but I've never heard anyone utter the phrase "my brain is hurting" when they're experiencing cognitive dissonance. Because what we did just now is we ripped him out of his mass formation psychosis for a second when we explained to him that what he saw on TV isn't necessarily reality. And the cognitive dissonance was so severe, he uttered the phrase, "my brain is hurting."
Yeah, it was so severe because he couldn't stop talking about chicken and Disney and like, oh yeah, everything I've learned is true. Which
What about we change it to duck?
maybe you guys are correct, but I'm asking you guys why it is true, and nobody has given me any evidence as to why the Earth is flat. Not
Can
one.
you change it to
Not
duck?
one.
Would duck help? Like Donald Duck?
Oh my goodness, dude. Anyway,
Everyone
this
just
is the
wants to
point.
say
This
the
is the
Earth is
point
flat.
where
No one wants to prove the Earth is flat. So go ahead. I'm listening. I'm giving you guys a chance to prove everything I know wrong. Do it. Make me a flat earther.
How about
Nobody?
this? If you ever start thinking the Earth is flat, let me know, and so I can reevaluate that position.
what? Oh my goodness, brothers.
Because you think that only things that can. Oh, hey, are you trying to jump in?
He's asking you for a positive evidence, right? At least one. It shouldn't be that hard to give him one. To
No,
not
he's
give him
also
one,
saying he has to see it on TV, though.
Nobody said that. You guys are just talking shit. Of course, I don't think the Earth is flat because that's not what I'm taught in school. I've already admitted to this. You guys keep talking.
And we made it to this point. Exactly. We gave some examples so we can reach this point, and now we can move forward to the next point. That's perfect. Go ahead.
I said that I said that without you giving your stupid chicken Disney bullshit.
We can't give you all the answers in 1 minute. Come on, you have to take it step by step. Go ahead.
Okay, and I've been asking for one piece of evidence as to why the Earth is flat, and I've been very patient.
All right,
Here comes Larry. Here comes Larry. He's about to talk about TVs again.
No, I'm not going to talk about TVs, bro. I'm not trying to be rude to you. I'm trying to be legit. So if you could just be patient for a second.
Okay.
You're asking for evidence that the Earth is flat, right? Which I think that's a good question. I like your question. I like where you're at mentally. So give me just a second. So you're asking for evidence, but I would ask you, when you go outside and you see the Earth and you realize that that's not the model that you saw on TV, but that's the actual Earth outside, have you ever experienced curvature?
Yes.
Okay, can you explain?
On a plane?
Bro, I'm sorry, but you must be mistaken. Maybe the windows were, made in such a way that the aerodynamic nature of the glass caused it to look curved, but you're nowhere near high enough in a plane.
If there wasn't curvature, I would be able to see a way further horizon than I would be able to see with curvature.
I have a better argument. Why do planes not fly straight?
They do. They fly straight and level.
No,
for hours.
Because of a curvature. The Earth is round, so you can't really fly straight. You have to fly in, like, if you take an airline, right? If you fly from Amsterdam to New York,
bro, you're kind of interrupting.
Why does the plane fly over northern Canada?
Else? We were talking to someone. Is this the same person? This is a different person.
I'm not trying to have someone tell me that the Earth isn't flat. I'm trying to have them tell me why the Earth is flat.
I'm trying to tell you, bro. So just follow along with me. I told you that you're nowhere near high enough in an airplane to see curvature.
I already told you that if there wasn't curvature that I would be able to see way further horizons.
How
Like
far?
I would be able to see land masses way before I actually do when I'm
Okay, so
flying.
are you a pilot? Are you a pilot? Okay, so you think your
No,
limited
you're
human
obviously
eyes
not a pilot.
can
Neither.
see
So,
for how many miles?
well,
Sorry,
okay.
bro.
If
Go ahead.
if if we're both not pilots, then
Trap, how you gonna hear an answer and a reply to you if you keep speaking while the other guy's trying to reply to you, bro?
because he's not listening to me because I'm not a pilot. Therefore, if he's not a pilot, I don't want to hear him talk about the thing that he claims
Yeah,
I.
So you don't want to
the
hear what he
issue
has
is
to say.
you asked a
No,
question and you
no,
didn't
because we're
listen.
both not pilots. So next point, we can't talk about that one because we're both not pilots. So next point.
I didn't say that, bro. Those words came out of your mouth.
That's what you said. You said, "Are you a pilot?" No. But neither are you. So let's not talk about the curvature because we're
Bro,
both
you're
not pilots. I agree.
misunderstanding. You have a misunderstanding. I was just asking, are you a frequent flyer?
That's not what you asked. You asked if I was a pilot, and yes, I am a
Oh
frequent
my
flyer.
god, dude. Okay, so you're a frequent flyer.
You
Thank you.
literally asked if I was a pilot.
And you said no. And now I'm asking, are you a frequent flyer? And you said yes.
Yes.
So now I'm asking, how far do you think you would be able to see?
We could look that up.
Okay, well, make sure that you understand that the atmosphere is not transparent, it's translucent. So how far do you think you would be able to see? You know, objects shrink when they get further away from you.
Google says, according to article on Healthline, can't confirm, the
Google.
farthest edge that you can see while standing on a flat surface with your eyes about 5 feet off the ground is about 3 miles away. Okay, but that's not talking about in the sky. So hold on.
That would be a curved surface if you were 6 feet, but we'll give them some slack.
He's talking about the Rayleigh criterion.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But he doesn't know those words, so that's why I said, do objects shrink when they get further in the distance?
What are you guys talking about?
Do objects shrink when they get further in the distance?
They're trying to tell me.
Not if you look at the moon. Oh wait. Yeah, what about the moon?
Why do you
Let's
guys
not do the
always
jump
go
into
to the
the
moon?
moon again.
Guys, this isn't the
We moved
moon.
away from the moon, and now someone else is asking about this moon
I
again.
know, bro.
Like,
Their head is
Oh,
lost
sorry,
in
I
space,
just got
bro.
here. I'm sorry, I
No,
just
no,
got
no,
here.
It's okay.
no.
Just
Wait,
chill out. I'm talking to this guy.
wait. Oh, wait. No, yeah, like my eye can see the moon. That's really far away.
Dude, this is
remember
not the
the chicken?
24/7 Moon channel. But judging by what you guys all say, like you're programmed from watching too much programming, you always go to the moon. We're talking about the dirt outside. This is the
Okay,
24/7
and
dirt
I
channel.
can also be, 10,000 feet in the air, look
Bro,
down,
your head's in the
and
clouds. Put your feet on the
see
ground.
landmass.
Dude, can you go outside and put your feet on the ground? Would that be
Okay.
too much to ask?
Well, I'm
Like,
38
get grounded.
stories in the sky right now.
Okay, well, maybe that's a bad idea. Okay. What I'm asking you to do
I
is
can see
just
pretty far.
just ground yourself like you're meditating right now, like mentally. Like ground yourself to the ground.
Okay, grounding
Stop
myself.
looking at the sky. We're talking about the ground.
Okay.
Have you ever experienced curvature while you're outside with no phone, no TV, no nothing? Have you ever experienced curvature outside?
If yes, say yes. If no, say no.
Curvature.
I have.
You ever seen your house move?
I think I
Axial
agree with
rotation?
King and Trispy.
I've seen curvature.
I saw a hill. I saw a hill.
That's a good point, King. That's a good point.
My doctor said it's usually a little bit to the left or right, so it's okay to curve.
Don't surveyors have to take into account the curvatures of the Earth?
A
Guys,
lot of
can you
things
wait
have to
just a
take
little
in
bit? This
the
this guy's trying
curvature
to
of the Earth.
ask a question.
We,
Guys,
ha-
can
we
you
have
wait?
The Earth
someone
is
sitting
round, it's not
on the
flat.
chair and asking questions, trying to have a conversation, and now we're gonna have to have the conversation with 3 different people. Uh,
Yeah,
can
just
you
take
guys
your
be
turn.
patient?
Hold on. I think we're all hold on. Okay, it's me, Crispy, Trispy, King,
All right,
and
talk to
and
him. Talk to him
and,
about Flutter. Go talk to him about Flutter. Then go.
and Mr. Oogie Boogie and Quetzal. I think we're all curious now. There's a cult
Okay,
of
well,
us.
good luck getting your
Convince
questions
us.
answered while they all talk all at one time. Go ahead, guys. I'm
No,
done.
Yeah. Go talk to him about it.
they're not talking. I'm the only one talking. I'm the spokesperson for our little group.
What the fuck are you on about?
Yeah,
You
what
shut
the-
you shut the fuck up. You signed up for this.
They voted for
Yes,
a
Okay, so
they
collective.
voted. I'm the
continue with the
spokesperson
conversation
for our
with
group.
Larry. All right. Continue the
Okay,
conversation
now
with
can
Larry.
somebody explain to me why there's flat curvature? Yes, we say we have experienced curvature. Go. I think they gave up, guys. Oh well, I guess the
You
Earth's not
can
flat.
you can give up if you want. That's okay.
I'm not
I would
giving
like
up.
to know how to jump off the earth. If someone can
I'm
tell
not.
me, please let me know.
Are you a
flat earth?
No, but I'm trying to get convinced because I'm woke.
Nobody's gonna convince you.
Only you
How do you
can
know that?
convince you of you.
How do we know that? Because we don't. That's how.
How do you know that you can't convince me that I can't be a flat earther? I can be a flat earther.
Only you can convince you of you.
You guys are just horrible at getting me to join your guys' freaking flat earth.
No, I don't want you.
No, please don't
No,
join.
don't
Please
join.
do not.
No,
Don't.
That was
You
my
need
statement from the very beginning. If you ever,
Don't
at
do it.
any point in your life, start
You
to think the Earth is
need
flat,
me.
no, don't want you.
Yes, you do.
No, no, thank you.
No, thank you.
Need me and you want me.
No, thank you.
What is
Stop
this turning
lying.
into?
I guess they don't want
Hard
me to believe
pass.
that the Earth is flat.
Hard pass.
Stop acting like you don't want him, bro.
See, that's
This
what I'm
is the
saying.
current
No,
state
Stop
of
playing hard to
Discord
get.
politics.
Stop playing hard to get. I know you want me to be a flat earther.
No, hard pass.
Can I be a flat earther?
Yeah, what about
You
me?
do
I
you,
want in.
Already a flat earther. You just
The
don't know
current
it.
state of Discord politics, guys.
Trispy,
You
I know
do
you want to
you.
be a flat earther too. I just feel it.
Nah, I'm good. I'm
What do
good.
I have to
like,
do to be a
looking at
flat earther?
science
Like,
and
what are the
facts
what are
and
the
maths.
requirements?
Living on
Oh,
Earth.
you said science, facts, and math.
Can I ask a question?
Present your argument and see how much you know about science.
All right, let's reset. Let's reset. Who was it? McKnight. You're the one with the questions, right?
I told you guys they wanted me. Yep, that's me.
Ask a question, McKnight. He wanted you to ask one.
I actually have a pretty low standard of what it would take to convince me that the Earth is flat.
Just buy him a hooker and he'll fucking say anything.
He has a low standard,
Wait,
everybody.
why did Mr. Oogie Boogie get server muted?
Because he has a low standard. We have
That's not
only
right.
high standards.
Could I ask a question?
Mr. Boogie, he always wait until someone new joins that has never had the conversation, so he can jump in the middle of 2 people talking, and he can put his own view. He always does that.
What about
So he's gonna be muted
what about
for
my
now.
friend Crispy? I mean, not that he's my friend, but like, why did
Okay,
he make
Crispy
into-
has a question. Let's listen to Crispy's question. Let's see if he gets serious now. Go ahead, Crispy.
I just wanted to know why the hell I got server muted.
Yeah. Guys, we should have
Like, what did I?
Is that
what
your
did
question?
What did
Is that
I
your
say?
question?
What did I say that was?
Do you have a question
deserving
in
of-
relation to the topic of the channel? Do you have a question
Well,
in
okay,
relation?
okay.
to
Here's
the
my
topic?
question. Okay, here's my question. All right, I want to know in this group of people, like, who is like what position each person is here. Like if
Okay, this is how you can
Earth
get.
is curved or flat.
This
So a
is how you can
psychology
figure.
survey. You're doing a survey at the moment. A survey of
I have the
who
perfect.
believes
I have
you.
Yeah,
the
because I
perfect
want to know. I
solution.
want to know who to ask the right question.
I have the
You want
perfect
to know.
solution. Hold on. If you believe the Earth is flat, raise your hand. All right, Crispy, start counting.
Yeah, just wait, Crispy. All you gotta do is listen, and then you'll be able to direct your questions to the right people.
Yeah,
It's
but
very
the
simple.
problem is that I'm listening and I'm
It
hearing
requires you to
bloody
listen.
nothing. I'm hearing people say, "Oh, you want me to be a flat earther? I can just feel it," and everyone's like, "No, no, no, no." It's like it's not really a discussion
It
where I
takes
can
time
find
to
out who is
establish a
what.
conversation. It takes time.
You can parse that out, Crispy, right? So number one,
Yeah, fair
you
enough. I've
heard.
only just joined, so I
Okay.
don't know.
So yeah, so just listen.
I guess I'll just keep listening then.
You could jump in, be like, "Hey, is that who am I talking to right now?" I'd be, "Oh, it's Craig." But hey, Craig, you a flat earther? I'd be like, "Yeah, man." You could do stuff like that, or there's solutions to get what you need and want.
Can I ask you a question, Cret?
Uh-oh. Is it about the Earth or is it about me personally? Like you want to know?
Oh no, I just wanted to ask you a flat Earth related question, if you don't mind.
Like how related? Is it related to the Earth or is it unrelated to the actual Earth?
Oh no, it's. Oh wait, are you asking me if it's to with like space and stuff like that?
Are you gonna start talking about sky magic and sky daddies and all that stuff, or is it?
Oh no, I was just curious because you were saying like it has to be like related to like the ground and like stuff that you can like see on the ground and stuff like that.
Well,
I
how
believe
about
that was
this?
you.
I could do one better for you, right? The channel
Okay.
here says flat and Earth. Okay, flat would be an adjective. With also
No,
says 24/7. Okay,
I was just wondering because
you've got. Hold on,
sorry.
I'll help you out here. So you've got 24/7, which probably means 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You've got the adjective flat, describing a noun. That
Right.
noun being Earth. Earth being the surface that you walk on.
No, I get that.
So
okay.
do you have a question for that, or do you got a question for like, do I like pineapple on pizza?
No, it was. Yes, it's related to that. It's related to that. It's related to that. I was just wondering, what kind of evidence do you think, if the world was round, what kind of evidence could you put forward that would involve just going out onto the lawn and finding out? Because I feel like that's such like a massive area of land that you have to like do some long distance related things to find that stuff out, don't you?
Drop of a distance.
Yeah, like if the Earth is too big, right?
But whenever you guys talk about like drop over distance and like stuff like, like basic shit like boats going over the horizon and stuff like that, you guys are like, no, that's an optical illusion.
Here, I got one for you right here. I posted this earlier. I guess I got deleted.
Okay.
So this is you who Brian Cox is?
No, I'm not sure who Brian Cox. I think I've heard the name. Wait, let me just Google him.
Okay.
He's a scientist, I think. He's pretty famous.
Oh no, yeah, I do know Brian Cox. Yeah, I know Brian Cox. Yeah.
Okay, so here's a first little snippet of him talking on the Joe Rogan show.
You want me to? Okay, I'll watch that.
Yeah, take a quick little listen to that.
Give me 55 seconds. You guys carry on with something.
Yeah, I gotta find a second one too of him. He's gonna talk in both these things. He's gonna talk about curve and rotation. And
Okay.
I'm pretty sure this should answer your point of view. Here's a second one. So Brian Cox, scientific communicator, huge social media footprint, mind you. I mean, this guy's social media footprint is bigger than Bigfoot's social media footprint. And Bigfoot has a pretty big.
Give me a second to watch them. One second.
Okay. Does anyone else got something while we wait, or I mean, sneak in?
How long are they? The clips?
They're short. Yeah, like 15, 20 seconds each.
Oh, we can wait then, I guess.
Yeah, but you might have to watch it 3 or 4 times.
You think?
Everybody knows. Round.
Spooky coming in very low. No one hears you.
Yeah, I think he's playing it through his mic.
Okay, I've watched them. I get it. So he's saying that it's hard to find out if the world's round just from like being on it, right?
Well, number one, the first video, he says it's meaningless to say the Earth is. Hold on, take a breath. The first, my interpretation, mind you, okay? You could disagree with it, okay? What I'm saying here is when he tells you there's no experiments to show the Earth is moving, therefore, in a scientific framework, it's meaningless to say the Earth is moving because it's a value. It's a statement without a unit, without numbers. You can never really use the Earth as anything other than stationary from the Earth's point of view. From the Earth's point of view, because of relativity with Einstein, because of Einstein taught you that from the Earth's point of view, the Earth is stationary. So
everything's moving around it.
Yeah. So he says if you try to say otherwise, it's a vacuous truth because it doesn't even have a unit or a ratio or a number to it because that number would be butt kiss, 0. And the second video, he wants you to think about how you know the Earth is round. And you know this because somebody else told you a story that they went to space. But if you value truth and if you value seeing is believing, you want to verify, you would have to go into a rocket ship, blast out into space, abruptly stop, about face, and take a look for yourself. So this is about value systems and what you put truth into. So do you value the scientific method? Well, yes. Then the Earth is stationary from the Earth point of view.
No,
and do you value
it's just
truth?
using the Earth as a stationary
I get the relativity thing on like on the movement of Earth. All of that makes sense, and there's no way to really tell if Earth is moving or everything's moving around it. But I think we can be real. Earth is probably moving a bit, right? But with the Earth being around and stuff like that, how do I describe
So how do you know the Earth is round?
The current perception of how the Earth is moving through the universe
we can observe
one
it.
can imagine it as though it's literally shooting through the universe with the entirety of the solar system revolving around it while it's inside like a galaxy.
Because Brian Cox says you know the Earth is round because someone told you a story that you believe.
Right, but you also have to take into account with like scientific data and stuff like that. Is there's so many people involved with like gathering it and like.
Okay, so more people. Okay, so instead of one person telling you, lots of individuals told you the Earth is round, and you believe them.
I've sailed the Earth.
There are experiments you can do on Earth which can show that the Earth is round.
Yeah, but those will all be optical illusions in their eyes. So like.
Yeah, not according to Brian Cox. According to Brian Cox, the only way
No. He only said that you can't show that the Earth is moving or stationary.
He only said moving.
He only said moving is stationary. He didn't say you can't prove that the Earth is round from Earth.
No, he said if seeing is believing. So if you have to see it to believe it, you would have to go into a spaceship. Or
no, you wouldn't.
Or you
can see it on Earth, like while you're right here standing on Earth. You can
click the
see
video. Watch a video
curvature
again.
if you do experiment.
Well, he's saying you have an experiment to give you a geometry. Which experiment is gonna give you the geometry of the Earth? Because you're talking about science or geometry, one or the two.
What, like they can't be like interrelated? Like like science is based on mathematics, and like geometry is a part of mathematics, so it's all interrelated. It's like it's not separate things.
So which is the test or experiment that you're saying that measures the curvature of the Earth?
Well, there are several. You can, for instance, if you go to like certain places in the Earth on the Earth, like say for example closer to the equator, you can measure the shadow of like a particular object and the shadow that it casts on the ground.
don't like
Now,
that one.
if you go to somewhere which is closer to the North Pole, say like
Let's go
not,
one at a time.
it doesn't have to be
One-
like close.
Crispy.
Sorry.
Pump the brakes, okay? Let's go one at a time. Follow it to its full logical conclusion, and also comparing what the experts had said too. So, which one do you want to do first? You said sticks and shadows.
So as I was saying, one experiment is you take, say, for example, like a stick, right? You stand at somewhere close to the equator, like on a place, say, somewhere in Africa or South America or in like Indonesia, and you measure the shadow, the length of the shadow that it points to on a particular day, right? Now, on that same day, the next year, what you do is you go somewhere further away from the equator. Say, like Europe or North America is a fair distance away from the equator. And if you take the same length of stick, you take and on the same day, and you will observe a different size shadow from being at a different point on the Earth, like further away from the equator. And well, we know that the Greeks were the first people to do this experiment, and they were actually able to calculate with reasonable accuracy.
The Greeks or one
very
Greek?
good. Excuse me.
When you say
with
the
very
Greeks,
good
you mean one
accuracy, the circumference of the Earth, how big the Earth is. They were able to calculate it. That's one experiment that you could do to calculate how big the Earth
That is
and how much the Earth
inconclusive. You have to have a bunch of presuppositions before you come to the conclusion. You have to say, if the Earth is ball and if the sun is this far away and it has parallel rays, and then you measure the you measure the shadows, which is not the Earth, right? The shadows, and you put in all these pre-assumptions, and then you say, if this and that, therefore it's a sphere.
Well, it would be reasonable to assume that the sun, because most times of the year, like the 3rd of March, for example, for one year is going to be the sun's going to be similar to the 3rd of March the next year. Like that's a pretty reasonable assumption to make. Like unless you can show a reason why it wouldn't be a reasonable assumption.
And then you change your pre-assumptions. Then you change your assumptions, and then you can have a different conclusion on the same test.
Yep. Okay, next one, Christy.
But
the first one's done. You sunk your battleship in that one. Okay, next one.
No, I haven't sunk my battleship because it's like the thing is like when you do an experiment like this, like sure, if you want to fiddle around with the presumptions about like the sun and stuff, sure, you might not reach the conclusion that the Earth is not it might not be definitive, but it's certainly not going to be definitive if the Earth is flat either, right?
Yeah,
it's inconclusive. Exactly my point.
Moving around.
Exactly my point. It is this test that you're talking about is inconclusive. You can reach multiple conclusions, different conclusions, based on your presuppositions and assumptions.
Another experiment that you would be able to conduct is actually one which is actually fairly easy to conduct. If we assume that the Earth is round, right, and it has like a certain curvature, right, assuming, right, and if you're able to calculate that curvature, you can calculate like a certain heights of like what a height would have to be a certain distance away. You only need to calculate, say, a few hundred meters away. For this experiment, what you would do is You get a piece of cardboard, of a very long piece of cardboard. You cut a hole in it, like roughly up to your eye level, up to your eye level, so you can see through it. Then you get a second piece of cardboard, do the same thing. Actually, no, you don't get a second piece of cardboard. I have to remember. What you do is you get
I
a
see.
similar.
Okay, hold on. So what you're looking at here is you got cardboard.
Yeah.
And you hold the cardboard up.
So what you do is you get a
And
piece
you
of
let
cardboard.
light shines through the cardboard, and you see
Yeah,
the light
from a distance away. What you do is you have a person who with a flashlight, right? You if they go like a certain distance
Where
away,
did you learn
like a
this?
few hundred meters.
You watched this in Netflix, right?
Netflix, yeah.
Anyway.
That you got this from a mockumentary, bro. Sorry.
What happened here
It's
is
a
that
legitimate.
you went
It's a
full
legitimate.
circle. This is that you saw it on TV, right? So this is what
No,
another
it's a legitimate
expert.
experiment that can be
Yeah.
done.
The guy who did it
I've
is
done it
called,
myself and I've seen the results.
and you got what?
You've
What
done
was the
it
result?
yourself.
Yeah, I've literally
How
done
much-
it myself.
How much curve did you
And
get?
what was the result?
able
Yeah, what was the curvature rate?
We were able to conclude that the Earth was in fact round.
How?
Because the person that was holding the flashlight had to raise their arms higher into the air for us to actually see it through.
What was the
Okay,
location
how high?
that you did this? Where did you do it? What was the location?
The location was here in Tasmania.
Netflix.
We have a flat. There's a pretty big flat piece of land here in Tasmania. We were able to conduct the experiment.
You have a flat piece of land that curves?
Or any
spaghetti-o.
that's like, yeah, because it curves with the surface of the Earth. Like, how's that controversial?
Yeah,
So
I think
is
you
it
understand
flat
what he's saying.
or a curve? Which one?
I think you get what he's saying.
Is it curved or is it flat?
Not really.
It's flat on a curved surface.
Oh god.
Okay, how much curve do you have on your flatness?
If you have a flat plane, it's like
a disco ball. A disco
So
ball.
listen, you did this experiment, so you must have some specific about how much this flat surface is curving. How much does this flat surface is curving? Can you tell us? Since you did the experiment yourself. Or the test, because that's not an experiment.
Well, it is an experiment.
You know, bro, an experiment establishes cause and effect relationships, right? You do a natural observable phenomena, you make a hypothesis, and then you do the experiment, right? To establish what is causing the effect. When you're measuring something, like measuring your table, like you pull out the laser or pull out the tape measure, that's not an experiment. You're measuring something. That's geometry. You're not looking at the cause of the effect. You measuring what it is. You're not measuring what is caused it to be. What is causing it to be, right? You're not looking for the cause. You're just measuring the curvature or the flatness of it. So you're saying that you measured the curvature on a flat surface. Please tell us what is the curvature rate that you actually measured on the flat surface.
I don't think that kind of experiment would give you a rate, right? That's just a
Yeah, it does give you a. You can calculate. We calculated that the Earth drops at around about 8 centimeters every kilometer. That the surface drops 8 centimeters every kilometer.
Can you show that the data there?
Do you have the data for this test that you conducted in Tasmania in the flat surface?
Well, it's all written down on a piece of paper. I don't have it on a bloody computer.
Take a picture of it. Take a picture of it with your photograph or with your phone. Take a picture and send it to us.
Because we could do this, follow the NASA method. On the JPL, there's a big sign on the wall that says, "Only trust God. Everybody else, must bring the data. So we'll follow the NASA burden of proof here. I will only trust you if you're God, and you're not God, so bring the data.
That's not real, though.
That's bullshit. That's the biggest bullshit I've ever heard.
At the Flat Earth Wikipedia.
Why would anyone trust God?
One thing that's surprising and
okay, well, yeah. So you don't like NASA's burden of proof, then? That's interesting.
the flat Earth has there's a lot of history, and I'm just realizing that it was a very popular theory.